Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Venom, Start Symbiosis Black Widow. Chapter 61. Sizzle. The endless fibrous tissue gathered on the right hand, and even the elbows and biceps were covered with a black hard shell with a tough texture and a special material. At first glance, like a giant hammer with an exaggerated shape. It seems to be able to crack rocks. Almost indestructible. Venom, he's still a kid. There is no need to know him in general. Come to me if you have the ability. Wolverine, with black hair like a wolverine and a resolute face, clenched his fist sharply. Swish. 3 adamantium steel claws pop out. With the unparalleled beast's sense of smell, even the overwhelming floating mosquitoes should not even try to get close to him. The piercing sound of breaking the sky continued to sound, and the place where he was standing was already covered with a layer of corpses. Come for you. What? I've seen you upset for a long time. Dui smiled coldly. Immediately, the hind feet stomped on the ground, like a galloping cannonball, and the distance of nearly 10 meters came in an instant. The giant hammer fist is raised high. A sonic boom exploded. The blow was so powerful that everyone couldn't react, and even their eyes couldn't catch his movements. He could only watch Wolverine fall to the ground, his head smashed to the ground, his eyes turned white, and he spit out a mouthful of blood. What? Logan lost. How is this possible? He has Superman senses, beast sense of smell, and should be able to dodge enemy attacks. Should. Who ordered it? You. Everyone couldn't help but burst into whispers. For the amazing strength of the female Venom, I sincerely feel the fear. However, no matter how badly Wolverine suffered, she will recover quickly. Soon, he was full of blood and resurrected again. Almost no wound was seen, even the fallen teeth, all regrew, which was stunned. At the same time, the fireman trembled, can't move at all. He never dreamed that the female Venom would be so powerful. Not even Wolverine Logan as a one-shot enemy. Done. Dangerous. If the key is to apologize, I can't say anything. He was afraid of losing face. Should you be called Venom, or Natasha Romanoff? In any case, it's not a time for internal strife. The mosquito girl is sucking human blood and is on the verge of metamorphosis. Everyone's best guns are unanimous. Thump. Dong dong dong. Heavy footsteps sounded. The tall and mighty, burly and powerful Colossus paced in front of Dui. He has a body of steel in the true sense. With innate ability. Regardless of strength, endurance, physical fitness, and defense, they have all reached a level beyond the reach of ordinary people. Able to lift a heavy tank with his bare hands. Even a large caliber howitzer can't do any damage to him. The real hardness of the Iron Man is second only to vibranium and adamantium. No rust in any extreme environment. He is also one of the few existences who can single out Juggernaut. The muzzle is consistent with the outside world. Did you make a mistake? I'm not a mutant. Professor X invited me to be a guest at Xavier Manor. So, this is the way of hospitality of X Academy. It makes me laugh out loud. Dui sneered. Don't care at all. Actually, he is also deliberately delaying time. I hope Mosquito Girl can evolve and open her second form. Hum. Buzz. One after another, the flying mosquitoes gathered from all directions, almost all of them were full of blood, and came to offer their monarchs. The overwhelming number of mosquitoes also wrapped the Mosquito Girl, like a black cocoon. About to transform into another perfect form. Not good. Chin, it seems that I can only ask you to take action. Cyclops looked solemn, and he didn't expect that in an instant, Mosquito Girl had already collected all the blood she needed. It seems that evolution will end at any moment. Break the cocoon into a butterfly. Feel sorry, I don't seem to be able to use Phoenix Force. Phoenix Force is getting angry. Refused to contact me. Chin Jailei's face was full of bitterness. She had a vague insight into the root of the problem. Venom. She agreed to the Venom parasitizing herself, which undoubtedly aroused the dissatisfaction of Phoenix. Phoenix. An energy entity that wanders beyond the multi-universe. The original life emotion that connects all things in nature. Noble and cool. Comes with aura. How can you tolerate alien parasites spoiling yourself? However, for the safety of Professor X, Chin Jailei ignored Phoenix's advice and was temporarily parasitized by the Venom symbiote, but it also made Phoenix Force furious. Unilaterally cut off contact. Angry. What happened? Storm raised an eyebrow. The voice did not fall. Click, click. A thunderous sound exploded. Once again, she used her innate ability to break the dike and replay the old tricks, evaporating the overwhelming floating mosquitoes on the spot. However, too late. Mosquito Girl has completed the evolution. I saw that the lotus roots were coiled with golden stripes, and the curves were more eye-catching, and the crown-shaped headdress was worn on the forehead, revealing a sense of grace and luxury. As if metamorphosis for the queen bee. Not only can you summon floaters, you can also summon wasps. Mr. Monroe. The same trick is useless. The Mosquito Girl covered her mouth and chuckled. Mosquito Girl. Like a queen with a halo. The crown was turned into a headdress, and the black stripes were also turned into brilliant gold. The skin was as smooth as jade and flawless, and almost no pore could be seen. It also completely draws a line with ordinary human beings. Should be called a freak. Dragon-level monster. Has the ability to destroy several large towns against the sky. Shaped like an apocalyptic catastrophe. Lena. Wake up. You are part of the Young Talent Academy. Don't be a super criminal. Professor X's voice was low, trying to soothe Mosquito Girl's emotions. However, next moment, cannot help but face a dramatic change. The tried and true spiritual power was actually bounced off by Mosquito Girl. He has no way to control Mosquito Girl at all. I am afraid. It is necessary to wear a brainwave enhancement device to upgrade the innate spiritual power to the rare Omega level in the world, and it is possible to end the farce. Haha, a part of the Young Talent Academy. No. I'm weird. Don't mix it up. A string of silver bell-like laughter sounded. The Mosquito Girl was full of ridicule. We'll also blame this ethnic group. For the first time to the world. Whack. What's the meaning? Isn't Lena a mutant? Does it mutate again? Will it leave the category of mutant? People are simply puzzled. At the same time, a mysterious voice sounded. Dewey answered his doubts. Whack. It's an advanced intelligent creature that has abandoned human beings and mutated genes. Neither the Inhumans nor the mutant. It's a brand new species. Even Hulk can be called a freak. Hiss. A whole new species. Like, indeed, Hulk is neither inhuman nor mutant. I see. The crowd looked surprised. But there are also new problems. Why, will Lena metamorphosis as a freak? Who is in control behind the scenes? Oh ha, you weak mutant. Want to unleash the hidden potential of your body. Eat this monster cell, and you will be transformed into a brand new species like me. Whack. The Mosquito Girl spread her palms. Immediately, one after another living cell appeared in front of everyone. Living cells are shaped like black tumors. As if it has vitality, it continues to beat constantly. Unpredictable, but you can't take your eyes off of it at all. Weird cells. It can awaken the sleeping life force in the eater. The ultimate sublimation that matches its individual appears. However, weird cells also have corresponding shortcomings. The further growth of the eaters cannot be foreseen. In other words, directly lock the growth limit. Even so, also mouthwatering. Because of the ability to change races, the gap between them is extremely large, and it is impossible to control the ability of awakening. Nearly 70% of mutants. In fact, they all belong to the Epsilon and Delta classes. The body has major flaws. You don't have the right to control your own destiny. Even if awakening has a powerful mutant ability, there may be fatal drawbacks and weaknesses. Like Fire Man, once there is no lighter. It is almost indistinguishable from ordinary people. Even if you can't control the switch of your own ability, you may accidentally hurt your allies. There are so many of these. Real or fake, eating monster cells can become a monster and achieve an incredible secondary mutation. Evolution that matches its individual. Great, I can finally become stronger. Give me. I want weird cells. After a brief silence, a burst of applause suddenly erupted. All the students of Xavier Manor showed ecstasy one after another, raising their palms high. Whoosh, whoosh, one after another, the monster cells drew a beautiful arc in the air and fell one after another. Let everyone see the possibility of rebirth. After all, Lena can evolve to this level, and she may not be inferior to her. Oh ha, eat it, let's all become monsters together. Let the geek be the master of this world. The Mosquito Girl smiles like a flower. Always fulfilling Dewey's orders. Transform Xavier Manor into an academy of weirdos. Definitely, it doesn't matter if you fail. Anyway, there is the Red Room organization. However, Even Duyi didn't realize. The students of Xavier Manor's thirst for monster cells have reached an unprecedented level. Picked up the black tumor directly on the spot. Eat up. Do not. Hurry up and stop. Don't be a freak. John, are you really going to give up being human? Iceman threatened, but it didn't stop the fireman. On the contrary, it further aroused his anger. Bobby. I won't lose to you again. The fireman looked hideous. He directly opened his mouth and bit a piece of flesh and blood from the monster's cells. Moment. He experienced a brain hypoxia. The feeling of suffocation of the soul. As if dying. You can die at any time. Next moment. All the hardships come. His image has also undergone unprecedented changes. The skin becomes keratinized. The size suddenly skyrocketed a few points. Pupils burst into a blazing flame. There is no need to continue to rely on lighters at all. Pat. A snap of fingers. An orange-red hot flame immediately rose from the fingertips. The terrifyingly high temperature scorched the air into an illusory blur, and the flowers and trees withered rapidly, as if all the moisture was about to evaporate. Fireman is ecstatic. Great, I finally got rid of the lighter. However, when he was about to take revenge and taught Venom a lesson, he found that he couldn't take action, just like facing the king of beasts. It was actually suppressed by a power of heaven. What happened? Oh ha ha ha. Welcome, my weirdo buddy. The mosquito girl whispered softly. Pleasant to listen to. A frown and a smile also showed the feeling of a royal sister. She is both charming and dignified, and her body curves are also condescending to the crowd. She looks like a monster girl in a fantasy dimension, which is simply irresistible. As for the students who ate the monster cells, unprecedented metamorphosis occurred. Horns grow on the forehead. An eye grows from the shoulder. It looks like a powerful and fierce beast. It perfectly fits the taste of the eater. It is the domineering place of monster cells. Definitely, after becoming a geek, no matter how strong he is, he will not be able to target Duyi, and will be suppressed by his breath. For his orders to obey, orders are forbidden. Never betray and disobey. Only, he didn't reveal his thoughts at all. It seems. The efficacy of monster cells should be attenuated. It cannot create dragon-level disasters, but it enhances stability. It will not cause the sudden death of the eater. Duyi narrowed his eyes slightly. The strength level of all the weirdos has been seen. Only the ghost level, even the elite ghosts seem to be few and far between. And, according to his in-depth perception, the monster cells condensed by the black light virus seem to have no limit to the growth limit. Mosquito girls take turns metamorphosis, and the promotion from elite ghost level to dragon level disaster is undoubtedly the best proof. Nice. Monster cells. Can you create a whole new species? Even Hulk is a weirdo. Venom, are you sure? Widow's sister came a wave of heartbeats. He felt awe and curiosity for the monster cells that looked like black tumors. Hope to get samples. Let the SHIELD technology department study it carefully. If a safe and harmless human strengthening serum can be developed. Undoubtedly a great achievement, sure, because the weirdo also served as my host. Duyi spoke nonsense. The voice did not fall, but keenly detected the low mood of the widow sister. Are you jealous, because I mentioned other hosts? It seems, the widow sister is really deeply dependent on herself. When I hear him mentioning his ex, I will be dissatisfied. Gee, she looks like a girl in love. Jealousy. Monster cells should be all destroyed. Natasha Romanoff. Once the monster cells are retained, it will inevitably cause endless troubles, and it will also lead to the further expansion of the monster group. Don't underestimate the evil of human nature. Qin Zhelei's beautiful eyes flashed slightly. Immediately, lift up the dark leather boots and step down hard. Directly stepped on a monster cell. Buzz. An invisible wave of mind spread suddenly. Professor X finally shot. Casting the alpha-level variant ability directly blocked everyone's autonomous will and prevented the monster cells from causing greater panic. But it's too late. The existence of monster cells and the metamorphosis of classmates have been deeply imprinted in everyone's hearts. Even if he can control the situation for a while, even the eccentric students can't be reversed. Haha. Professor, it seems that the power of your mind doesn't work for weirdos. Thanks for your care. Goodbye. The mosquito girl waved her hand. Then, Two pairs of transparent feather wings flapped, directly leading the monster army, and left the Xavier Manor. There is really no need to stay here for long. After all, the anger of the X-Men is not a joke. It may even attract the attention of the Sentry Secret Service. Contrary to Dewey's strategic deployment. However, it is almost predictable that the geek population is about to grow. Epsilon and Delta class counterparts are likely to eat monster cells. Officially out of the category of mutant. Who the hell invented the freak cell? Hulk, still hate, S Company. It's a departure from the natural law of survival of the fittest. Beast Hank was furious. For monster cells, even if there is enough curiosity. However, once you think that the scale of the trans ethnicity is about to decrease sharply, and you join the weirdo camp one after another, you can't help but get angry. Hank, I believe that you can develop an antidote to cure weirdos. Storm spread out his long legs and paced in front of him. Handed an indescribable black tumor. Weird. But you can't take your eyes off it. I should say goodbye too. A new round of snake catching plan is about to start, and S.H.I.E.L.D. will not ignore the contribution of the X-Men. A hissing sound rang out. I saw the pitch-black liquid fibers receding like a tide, revealing the Widow sister's alluring face once again. Sister Widow smiled. Say goodbye to the X-Men. He also promised not to interfere with the family affairs of the Xavier estate. Hope the snake hunt is a great success. Professor X held up a smile. It's like I've aged 20 years again. Completely lack of energy. Today, destined to be included in the history of X Academy. A far-reaching storm will also be swept by the monster cells. Whack, weird cells, such a big thing happened in X Academy. Washington, triple wing building, the meeting room with bright windows. The faces of the people were heavy. Look carefully at the living cells that are shaped like black tumors and are still beating. After hearing the cause and effect, my pupils could not help shrinking violently. I couldn't believe my ears. If you eat this cell, you will be able to turn into a weirdo and break away from the human category. The Xavier estate has all been split. A group of vicious monsters appeared. Whack, divided into wolf, tiger, ghost, dragon, god. 5 levels. Not only does it symbolize the level of danger, but it can also express the strength of a weirdo. There are ordinary and elite monsters of the same level, leaders. The difference in strength. A strange, magical voice echoed. Dewey talked eloquently. The setting of One Punch World is directly transferred to the Marvel Universe. Boom, a dull echo sounded. Fury punched down. He was so furious. I never dreamed that there is such a disgusting thing on the earth. Who exactly invented the evil props? Suppose you have a monster cell in your hand. I am afraid that the whole world pattern will change drastically. Weirdos occupy the dominant position in society, and will inevitably challenge the authority of the Stars and Stripes Federation, and S.H.I.E.L.D. will also fall into the quagmire. Avengers Alliance. There is simply no energy left to exterminate all the weirdos. Fury. I seriously doubt it. Weird cells are what the Hydra organization came up with. The trip to Sokovia must not be stopped. Captain America has a great build. After pondering for a long time, he also expressed his views. Hydra. During World War II, the anti-sky technology that was ahead of the times was invented, as well as the perfectly restored super soldier serum. Monster cells. It may not be possible to research it. Indeed, the captain is right. The Hydra organization's latent plan has failed, and it is bound to make an irrational move to expose the weird cells to the world, which is also in line with the Hydra organization's philosophy. Dr. Banner praised. Idea. What philosophy? Cut off one head, and 2 grow in the same place. It is good. Keep an eye on X Academy. Go to Sokovia now. I applied for District 13 aid. Avoid the super soldier wearing the Sombra mask causing the operation to fail. Fury strutted and led the crowd directly to the armory. I saw the airport, parked with a brand new heavy-duty Quinjet. Like a bald eagle that flutters its wings. The 2 wings are equipped with anti-gravity engines, which have been remodeled by experts from the Ministry of Science and Technology. Whether it is defensive ability or flight speed, it has reached an unprecedented level. Even in low Earth satellite orbit, it can operate smoothly. Hey, Sister Widow, it's me, still remember me? Xiaoyu, Cheng Xiaoyu. A grotesque cry rang out. Wearing trendy children's clothes, Kung Fu Lolita with two slanted bangs jumped directly in front of the widow's sister. Big eyes flashing. There is absolutely no stage fright and fear of life. It is simply the existence of the social ceiling level. The figure behind him is the well-dressed archaeologist, the magician with the same hairstyle as the Saiyan, and the burly sumo warrior. There is also the former Zhongyang thief Little Snake. The cow warrior who will never take off his mask. Dragon team. Everyone is here. Xiao Yu. Everyone. Haven't seen you for a long time. Sister Widow smiled. Greeted enthusiastically. As the top agent of Aegis, the super spy trained by the Red Room. Regardless of the existence of the 3 religions and the 9 classes, or any occupation, she can easily control it and handle it. What's more, she has always admired Xiao Yu's innate brains and talents. At one point, I wanted to train her to be a second-generation widow sister. Let's go. Go to Sokovia. The Shadow Mask, please ask the Dragon team. Captain America frowned. If the Hydra organization is not eliminated for one day, he will never be able to relax. Buzz. The crowd boarded the Quinjet. After sitting firmly, the anti-gravity engines on both wings suddenly erupted with a deafening roar. Like an arrow from a string, it burst into the ground, leaving a long-lasting sonic boom trail in the sky. The maximum flight speed of this Quinjet is about Mach 15. From the East Coast, across the Atlantic waters, it takes only 90 minutes to reach Sokovia in Eastern Europe. Sister Widow. Venom symbiote. Is it still on you? How do you feel? Can you control the venom perfectly? Xiao Yu and Sister Widow were sitting in a row, unable to restrain their curiosity and chattering. However, before I could answer, the pitch-black liquid substance had penetrated the widow sister's pore and gathered into a ferocious pocket head. A ruthless look with a smile on his face. Girl T. Haven't seen you for a long time. I heard that you not only found the Waja card, but also collected a few spells again. What spells are there? Du Yi's face was full of anticipation. Spell. The 12 divine powers that symbolize the fire demon. So far, he has only had 6 spells. If there is no tiger talisman that balances the conflict of magical powers, he will never be able to show his true strength. What, Mom? Are you Venom? Can you speak? My God. Unlucky, unlucky, unlucky. After a brief silence, the long group couldn't help but erupt into a heated discussion. As if the 3 views exploded, the whole person was top-heavy, and he almost suspected that he was hallucinating. However, the facts are in front of you. Avengers Alliance members are already used to it. Quiet, as if God pressed the mute button. After silence, the dragon group couldn't help but shout. Oops. You can actually speak. Dad thinks you have no wisdom. The old hoarse voice echoed. The old goat couldn't help holding his head in a frenzy. The little snake, the former host of Venom, also showed a chill, as if being infested by a burly man. Because the voice of the symbiote is clearly male. But, why do I miss that feeling? Like I can do anything. The little snake's beautiful eyes flowed. I couldn't help but tremble slightly. There is no Venom symbiote remaining on her body. But the characteristics of the Venom symbiote have taken root in the depths of the cell, rewriting her genetic map. Once you are within a certain range of Venom, you will be strongly hinted by your mind that you want to become the host of the symbiote. However, she is not qualified to snatch Venom at all. Can only suffer silently. My God, Venom. After you possess the widowed sister, have you even learned to speak? It's so fun. Can you tell me a tongue twister? Eat grape but do not spit out grape skin. Do not eat grape but spit out grape skin. Xiao Yu is a treasure. Cannot help but light up. However, Du Yi went berserk on the spot. Little brat. Take me for someone. This uncle can't perform tongue twisters. I've been talking all the time. Scare. Xiao Yu was stunned. Venom is so grumpy. It seems, the level of alien quality education needs to be improved. And many more. Always talk. Why didn't he show this ability when he parasitized her? As if Venom stole 6 spells. The Venom symbiote from space is eager to collect all the spells. What is the situation? A series of question marks hit his mind. The dragon team couldn't help but ponder. After all, the behavior of the Venom symbiote must not be as simple as it seems. Venom. Zone 13 is the safest place. None of them. I hope you can return the spell and keep it in Area 13. Otherwise, once the spell falls into the hands of the bad guys, it is possible to bring the fire demon back to light, and the whole world will be wiped out. Archaeologists are bittersweet. Persuade Venom to return the 6 spells. Gang of gangsters. Evil necromancer knife dragon. Almost all looking for 12 spells. If the true trace of the spell is found, the Venom symbiote will also be reduced to a dangerous situation. Almost forgot. The Mafia conspired to resurrect the Holy Lord. Lin Tay Barton gritted his teeth. The situation that the storm is about to come is simply depressing. Can't breathe. Holy Lord. The super tyrant who once dominated the Eastern continent twice. Once he comes back to life and collects all the spells, even if Hulk is not his opponent, I am afraid that Thor will give it for nothing. Thor. The gods in Norse mythology have really come to Earth. Team leader, Xiao Yu's big eyes flashed, revealing a dull color. Desperate for a clear answer. Like, yes. I just haven't seen it. Captain America smiled wryly. Immediately, he turned his eyes to Sister Widow, and almost instantly, Sister Widow understood his intentions. Venom, you're strong enough. There's no need to rely on spells, right? Spell. It should be handed over to District 13 for safekeeping. Widow's sister advised. However, Yi smiled coldly. Late. I've eaten all the spells. It can't be restored at all. In other words, it's me who became the carrier of the power of the spell. Nani. The sumo warrior suddenly widened his small eyes. Poison turned into a spell carrier. Eat the spell. Real or fake, it was as if 10 million grass and mud horses were galloping past. He could hardly believe his ears. Alien symbiotes from space. Is there such a thing? Simply incredible. Unlucky. The symbiote can actually eat the spell. The archaeologists were helpless. However, the widow was thoughtful, because the Venom once manifested the horse charm, which directly cured Professor X's Alzheimer's disease. Stinky girls, you talk too much. The horse charm I have realized is just a temporary charm with a small amount of magic power, and it can only be used once. As long as the magic power is exhausted, the spell will cease to exist. Yi explained patiently. Temporary spell, real. I do not believe. Xiao Yu's eyeballs rolled around. The voice did not fall. Hiss, sizzle, a hissing sound rang out. The liquid pitch-black substance was directly shaped into a prismatic charm. A lifelike rooster pattern is drawn on the surface. Can psychokinesis move objects? Free yourself from gravity. Compared with the genuine chicken charm, the temporary charm is completely dark and has the texture of liquid fiber, revealing a strong mysterious color. Oops. Chicken spell. It doesn't seem right. Dad took over the temporary spell and couldn't help but take a closer look. He smelled an astonishing wave of magic. But it is still not comparable to the genuine one, it can only be used a few times. And many more. Rat, rabbit, dog, dragon, horse, chicken. 6 spells. Can you make it all? The archaeologist was amazed. Definitely. Are you envious? Yi's face was full of expression. Immediately, he manifested a number of temporary spells again. Almost everyone has a pair. After all, the Hydra castle in Sokovia is about to be attacked. With the technological level of the Hydra organization, without Thor and Tony Stark, it is bound to suffer great obstacles. And the underground emperor wearing the shadow mask. Goldand, not only can you get the physique of the mummy general, but you can also summon tall and mighty troll warriors. A fierce battle is bound to break out. If Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were also present, I am afraid that the snake-catching plan is very likely to fail. Awesome. Here, 4 more spells. You have eaten it too. Xiao Yu's eyes waved. Then, he took out the other 4 spells. The surface is painted with lifelike animal patterns. Cattle, pig, tiger, sheep. I go. Tiger talisman. It's almost impossible to find a place to break through the iron shoes, and it takes no effort to get it. Yi was ecstatic. There was hardly any hesitation. Direct manipulation of liquid fibers sweeps all spells. On the spot, use the power of Tuntun fruit to eat it and wipe it clean. Even if Xiao Yu regrets it, it's too late. Moment. An unprecedented energy filled Yi's limbs and the fibers of his body. He also fully integrated all his abilities, broke all boundaries and barriers, and completely used it for his own use. Tiger charm symbolizes the yin and yang sides of things. able to balance the conflict between magic powers. Even the irreversible entropy increase effect will fail. Hiss, hiss. A hissing sound rang out. The liquid substance trembled directly. No one has insight into the metamorphosis of the Venom symbiote. Even the widow is no exception. However, next moment, a grand, sacred, and inexplicable aura spread out. The hearts of Avengers Alliance and Dragon Group can't help but jump. 4 spells. Did you really eat it? Turns out Venom didn't lie. Oops, Xiao Yu, why give the spell to Venom? Now there's not a single spell left in District 13. Dad hugged his head in a frenzy. Couldn't help but complain. Even the archaeologists and Trudeau were stern, and because of the presence of the superhero of the Avengers Alliance, they did not criticize Xiao Yu too much. However, Xiao Yu realizes later that she has discovered her problem. But there is no way to make up for it. Because Venom eats grapes and doesn't spit out grape skins, the spell cannot be restored at all. What? Don't blame Xiao Yu. Actually she did it right. Because I will not resurrect the Holy Lord. Neither the Mafia nor the Black or a Necromancer can beat me. Du Yi was in a good mood. I almost couldn't help making a roar sound. 19 likes. Simply cool. No wonder. The Holy Master needs the Tiger Talisman to balance the magical conflict before he can be resurrected in the true sense and possess the full strength of the heyday. At this moment, he finally understood the magical effect of the Tiger Talisman. It can almost be called the strongest spell. Buddha Fruit. The power of shadows. Swallow the fruit. Intercolumnar cells. Aurora's Eye. Compound number 5. Black Light Virus. Weird Cells. A series of abilities, through the yin and yang reconciliation of the Tiger Talisman, will no longer conflict, forming a perfect cycle, and they begin to mutually benefit each other, greatly enhancing his strength. Almost breaking through the level of level sub-Godfather. That's right, strictly speaking, Du Yi has stepped into level sub-Godfather. The strength can almost rival the Emperor of the Universe. Thanos. There are no weaknesses, not even flames and sound waves can move him. Once you eat the other 2 spells, you will be able to do whatever you want in the Marvel world. Not even the King of God Odin, Sorcerer Supreme Ancient One, could bring him down. Frigga the Queen. Should they be considered key female characters? Du Yi's eyes were deep. Can't help but start to look forward to it. Parasitic 2. What reward will you give yourself? I'm afraid the quality will not be inferior to the intercolumn cells. Venom. I hope you can protect Xiaona. Don't let her get hurt. Even 12 spells can't compare to Cortana. Sven, the elegant Dr. Banner, had a complex look in his eyes. After the Widow Sister served as the symbiote host, not only was she isolated by S.H.I.E.L.D., she was isolating herself too. Deny your partner's concern. Be alone. I go my own way. It was only recently that he came out of the haze, and a smile appeared on his face again. It seems, the Venom symbiote has successfully captured her heart. You have no chance at all. Shut up, Cubs. My lord's business. It's not your turn to talk too much. Du Yi yelled loudly, not getting used to Dr. Banner at all. The voice fell. Dr. Banner's heart rate rose sharply, and even Roar's breathing began to tighten. It seems like it will explode at any time. Transform into a powerful Hulk. However, Widow Sister's eyes were full of tenderness, and she hummed a beautiful song, The Sun is About to Set. Roar. Dr. Banner propped up his smile and tried to calm down his fluctuating mood. Finally, he restrained his anger and cast a grateful look. Almost ran away. Once Hulk shows up, I am afraid that this heavy Quinjet will fall apart, and all the members will be buried in the sky, and they can't die anymore. Banner. Want to get rid of Hulk? I can make your dreams come true. Du Yi's mind changed sharply. Then there was a burst of delusional babble. Get rid of Hulk. What's the meaning? Dr. Banner's eyes widened. I could hardly believe my ears. Because he prayed to God and worshipped Buddha, he searched all the ways, even if he shot himself, he could not solve Hulk. Result. Now the Venom symbiote claims it can handle the Hulk. Real or fake? Definitely. Symbiotes don't lie. Banner. The tiger charm. It symbolizes the yin and yang sides of things. It is also possible to separate good and evil personalities, making you and Hulk 2 separate entities. Du Yi spoke in an eloquent manner. However, the voice fell. Everyone was shocked. Especially Banner. It's just beyond shocking. Into two separate entities. If Venom didn't deceive himself, he could completely solve his concerns. There's no need to worry about getting out of control. Become an alien in the eyes of the outside world. Whack. Oops. Tiger Talisman still has this kind of effect. Why didn't Dad find out? The old goat was confused. He only knew that the tiger charm could balance the conflict of magical powers. Cut. I ate the tiger talisman, and naturally I know the real use of the tiger talisman. Du Yi's face was full of sarcasm. Gee, separation of good and evil personalities. Turn Banner and Hulk into two separate entities. At first glance it's absolutely beneficial and harmless. After all, Dr. Banner, who has 7 doctorates, was supposed to be in charge of high-end experimental research. But because of the existence of Hulk, he has become a leading battle tank. Activities that can trigger an increased heart rate. There is no way to participate. Still not married. Dr. Banner dreams of starting his own family. However, no chance at all. Because of the existence of Hulk's personality, he was also hated by General Thunderbolt, and was extremely rejected by the general public. And many more. Venom, what's your purpose? I'm afraid it's not just kindness. Captain America's eyes were deep. Keen insight into a trace of ominous foreboding. Certainly not at ease. Rogers, Venom, actually very kind. The widow responded quickly, made Du Yi almost cry. However, in fact, he really is not at ease. After separating Dr. Banner and Hulk's personalities, he can eat Hulk without any pressure, and inherit his physique and force intact. After all, he not only harvested the Tuntun fruit, but also the black light virus of perfect quality. Any substance can be digested completely. The power of fury without a limit. It will also be his specialty. Maybe, all may cause the qualitative change of the cow spell. Incarnate into a real god on earth. Let me think about it. After all, the enemy is now. Sokovia, arrived. Through the porthole, overlooking the earth, you can see the outline of the mountains with deep forest and dense leaves. Under the dark night, naturally, everything is covered with a layer of veil, and it is impossible to peep at the real face. The position at the end of the line of sight. There is a solemn castle full of retro colors. Built on the mountain, high wall spire, exudes the smell of the vicissitudes of the years. That's the mission goal. Hydra Castle. Hydra Castle, standing tall. No one knows who built the castle. It seems to have existed for countless centuries. Not even 2 world wars razed it to the ground. In the castle, vehicles of all shapes and sizes keep coming in and out. The defense was extremely tight. Idle people and the like are not qualified to approach at all. It is the secret lair of the Hydra organization. After the fall of Alexander Pierce, all the backbones and elites of the Hydra organization also smuggled into Sokovia one after another. Once again plotting an unknown sinister plan. Golden N. Are you sure that after wearing a mask, you will be able to gain unprecedented power? Even Hulk is no match. The gray-haired old man in a suit couldn't help but let out a hoarse voice. Overnight, Pierce is about 10 years older. There was absolutely no zealous appearance. Shaped like a lost dog. Even status and status are polar opposites. Served as a steward at Hydra Castle. Excluded from the center of power. However, he has discovered something else that will give him the power to make a comeback and even bring down the Avengers Alliance. Shadow Mask. It is said that the mask sealed the soul of the mummified general. Once you wear the mask, you can change your life against the sky and get the first-class physique of Superman. Regardless of strength or speed, it will skyrocket in all directions, and you can also summon shadow soldiers who obey their orders. Just like ghosts walking in the night, the dragon sees its head and sees its tail. Call out, shish. One shadow after another, like a ghost, rushed from all directions, and instantly transformed into a silent, big-waisted troll warrior. The width of the fist is bigger than the waistline of ordinary people. The size is not inferior to the highest-level sumo samurai Yokozuna. Eyes are scarlet. It exudes an air of unapproachable people. For Kim and absolutely loyal. Even if the body is destroyed, it can be summoned again. Pierce, I am the best example. Gold is like Shira. Grim-faced. The beard and eyebrows are unusually thick. He has a close relationship with Alexander Pierce, and it is because of Pierce's support and cultivation that he has become the largest underworld leader in the United States. Definitely, today is different from the past. The Hydra organization, which was uprooted, also made Jin and was suppressed by S.H.I.E.L.D., and the territory was sharply reduced to an unprecedented level. A new generation has replaced the old. Neither Fisker Business Group nor the Hydra organization were hurt. With a keen sense of smell and ubiquitous minions, he successfully found 4 shadow masks. Bart, Rezu, Cabo, Manny. No matter who wears it on his face, it will give him the physique of a mummy general, with a speed and strength that is different from ordinary people, and has the force of 1,000 horses. Brock, SGT, Bucky, Garrett, you wear the Sombra mask with me. Pierce didn't have hesitation, he just picked a shadow mask and put it on his face. It's a Cabo mask. The color is pitch black. The appearance of gaping fangs is enough to scare kindergarten children. Even adults who see it may have nightmares. Cabo, able to summon Kong's powerful pincers. At the same time, Crossbones, Winter Soldier, Acute Eyes, the 3 elite backbones of the Hydra organization, also chose a pair of shadow masks and put them on their faces. Hum, buzz, an ominous atmosphere spread. It was as if the gates of hell had opened up. The room temperature has dropped to below 0. Breathe into cream. After the shadow mask touches the skin, it is also stretched and wrapped, directly replacing the host's face, and there is almost no way to remove it. What? Sure enough, you are not lying. Golden N. I feel so powerful, as if you can do anything. A strange and magical voice echoed. Alexander Pierce suddenly straightened his back. His back was as straight as a gun and a sword, as if his size had grown a bit. The old body is also rejuvenated. Exclamation mark. I saw him clench his fists violently. A pistol was scrapped on the spot. Directly turned into rubble. Gee, Jin and his eyes narrowed. If it weren't for the fact that he could only wear a shadow mask, would Pierce be so cheap? General Mummy has no absolute strength. Only the shadow soldiers under his command are different. Pierce, Roar calls the darkness of the soul. You will summon elusive shadow soldiers. 1 man makes an army, and 10,000 men are invincible. Jin Bing's voice was low. I don't know why, but suddenly I remembered a radiant figure. Venom, the Buddha, who is shaped like a Western world, has successfully cultivated the indestructible body of a Vajra, able to strike with infinitely powerful punches. Even if the defense is extremely strong, the troll warrior with copper skin and iron bones is not an enemy with a single blow. Even he is utterly incorrigible. Flash open, scared Kim and ran away on the spot. Don't dare to go wild. Natasha Romanoff was isolated by S.H.I.E.L.D. and ineligible for snake hunting. Otherwise, the Hydra organization will be wiped out. Jin said with fear. The voice did not fall. Woo. Woohoo. A deafening siren sounded. The ground keeps shaking. It was as if an earth dragon was overturning the river. Everyone almost fell. What happened? Earthquake. Sokovia also has an earthquake. Do not. Avengers Alliance is here. Hulk is attacking Hydra Castle. Roar shouted hoarsely. Through the surveillance screen. After seeing the real face of the uninvited guest, everyone's pupils could not help shrinking violently. Exclamation mark. Hulk, like a never-ending fighting machine, it keeps howling hysterically. Even if the advanced energy protection cover could resist his attacking pace, the amazing reaction force still spread to the extremely far-reaching crust, causing earthquake-like fluctuations. What? The Avengers Alliance has discovered the location of the Hydra Castle. Who exactly leaked the rumors? Pierce is furious. Subconsciously, he summoned an endless stream of pincer warriors. He is tall and burly, his muscles are developed and strong, and he has a crab claws on his right hand, as if he can smash fine iron. Left-handed giant cone. Enough to crack rocks. Nearly 100 hunter warriors stood silently in the underground of the castle. It's like a private soldier waiting to be inspected by a general. Solemn, intimidating. Hi, this is my subordinate. Good. It seems that the shadow soldiers are also quite different. Pierce reacts a little and can't help but smile. A thought. An endless stream of shadow soldiers liquefied again and merged into the darkness. Not even a well-trained Hydra elite can do this. Brock, Bucky, Garrett, walk. It's our turn to be ashamed. Pierce took the lead. crossbones, winter soldier, acute eyes, followed. However, Jin Bing, as if he hadn't heard of it, stared at the surveillance screen, and shuddered. This, impossible. Natasha Romanoff, did Nick Fury allow her to take part in the snake hunt? It seems that this place is not suitable to stay for a long time. You must plan ahead. Jin Bing's thoughts turned sharply. General Mummy's soul did not suppress his mind. Even, suffered from his control. With his Superman's first-class talent and wisdom, he has learned countless ancient secrets and spells through General Mummy. You can almost beat Mrs. Gao. However, he still didn't have the courage to face Du Yi. Because after Du Yi incarnates as a Buddha, every gesture will emit divine power and restrain dark and unclean creatures. 4 shadow generals, not necessarily to lose. Jin narrowed his eyes. At the same time, surface. Outside the Hydra castle, a layer of indestructible energy protection cover, under the crazy hammering of the Hulk, has emerged one after another cracks. The dense mottled traces are simply shocking. It seems like it will explode at any moment. Definitely, the Hydra organization will never allow this to happen. One team after another, armed to the teeth, armed with advanced pulse weapons, charged directly from a more distant base. Boom, bang bang bang. The deafening roar is endless. The entire battlefield was filled with smoke. The human eye can hardly see anything. Compared with the military power of the prelude to the Ultron era, the Hydra organization at this stage is not much inferior, and it seems that it will always be at the forefront of the world. The situation has turned upside down again. Hulk is in a bad situation. Quote dot. Pipe exclamation mark. Attack. Captain America's eyes were firm, and he immediately sent out a loud threat. Next moment, just twist the throttle handle. Like a wild horse, he went straight to the Hydra castle. Da. One after another, sharp high-tech arrows followed like a shadow, killing the snipers who were waiting for the opportunity. Nice job, Barton. The Widow gave a thumbs up. Immediately, he paced to the edge of the battlefield. As if the heartbeat is accelerating, the body temperature is also rising. Hot all over. Hiss. Sizzle. The pitch-black liquid substance came out through the body, directly covering the graceful Widow Sister, shaped like a shiny black gel coat, highlighting the Widow Sister's body curve incisively and vividly. There is almost no fat and bulge. The arc is perfect. A slender waist with a grip. Even the 10 fingers are covered with mesh sleeves. Incredibly eye-catching. My God, the Venom symbiote and her. Just perfect. People rely on clothes. Uncle Long. You seem to be drooling. Xiao Yutong said nothing. But it made the archaeologists blush. Cough cough. The true nature of the boy. Are you stunned without seeing your dad? Quote, why did you abandon me? The little snake's beautiful eyes blinked. Under the frequent psychological hints, a strong jealousy emerged unexpectedly. I want to hurt the widow. Replacing the widow. To Li Jiao, even the dusty memories are revived. She remembered her childhood. The same serpent coat of arms was also found on the Hydra soldiers. No way, is it? Am I also a member of the Hydra organization? The little snake's eyes widened. The whole person was bombarded with thunder. Almost suspected that he was hallucinating. However, she has not forgotten the appearance of Teacher Green. Blonde, great figure. The years have not left a trace on her face. What a daze. Want to die. Clint Barton's bow draws the full moon, and the high-tech arrow draws a beautiful arc, directly detonating the menacing missile. It also made the little snake suddenly come back to his senses. Sorry, won't do it again. The little snake made some adjustments and returned to its state again. With extraordinary agility, she is like the world's top ballet dancer, spinning and jumping. After being strengthened by the Venom symbiote, it seems to have the first-class strength of Superman. Even bullets can be easily dodged. Oops, Aaron. Dad has an ominous foreboding. The old goat is like a sieve of chaff. It's like being electrocuted. Shake up. Immediately, shadows followed one after another, like living creatures, converging from all directions. The sky also darkened. Dark clouds obscured the moonlight. It's almost pitch black and you can't see your fingers. Only a pair of scarlet eyes are exposed, casting a malicious gaze. Shadow troops. And many more. There seems to be more than one kind of shadow soldier. Everyone's eyes trembled. I can't help but shrink my pupils. Immediately, shadow soldiers of different shapes were seen, from behind the scenes to the front of the stage. Without exception, their limbs were powerful and they had dead gray skin. Compared with the ninja corps, the shape is more sinister and evil, with a burly and sturdy body, and the crab claws seem to be able to smash steel bars. This is Pliers' corps. Du Yi's voice was low. In addition, he also saw the air combat unit, a bat-like evil figure with a wingspan of about 2. Standing on the cloud, condescendingly overlooking the earth. It has extremely fast speed, neural response ability, sharp claws, and can also launch powerful qigong waves. Like a god wielding a pen, leaving a trail of sonic booms in the sky. Simply daunting. At the same time, not far away, a soft-bodied creature shaped like an octopus, with a black turban covering its face and covering its head tightly. Has an extremely exaggerated body elasticity. The arms and legs can extend infinitely. The power is also not to be underestimated. Enough to carry heavy loads with ease. Even bullets can bounce back easily. Only magic can harm this strange creature. Soft shadow, alien core, call out, shish. One after another, the arms and legs popped out at a speed like lightning, directly coiling the furious Hulk. No matter how the Hulk struggled, even with all his might, he couldn't break free from the shackles of soft shadow. Simply stunning. How is this possible? It seems that the tentacles of the soft shadow core are not only flexible, but also super tough. It's over. The strongest Hulk has failed. Is there any other way? Xiao Yu's face was full of horror. I couldn't help but take a step back. Facing the shadow soldiers of different shapes, even Kung Fu Loli is afraid. After all, she is only 10 years old. Have not graduated from primary school yet. Oops, Dad is not ready to remove the materials for the 4 shadow masks. Why didn't anyone tell Daddy? Hydra has collected all 4 masks. Is this embarrassing, Dad? The old goat hugs his head and goes crazy. There's nothing you can do. Because he only prepared the recipe to remove Summer's mask. Who would have thought that, without seeing the owner of Summer's mask, he saw the other 4 shadow generals? Bart, Rezu, Cabo, Manny, were worn on the face separately. Fits perfectly to the scalp. Even with brute force, it cannot be removed. What, Xiao Yu, who told you? Hulk is the strongest force in the Avengers Alliance. Evil, magical voices echoed. The liquid symbiont fibers then formed a pocket head, with a hideous appearance, even better than the general black shadow. It exudes an inhuman violent beauty. Hiss, sizzle. A hissing sound rang out. Moment. Du Yi has activated the black light battle form. An endless stream of liquid fibers gathered on the right hand, forming a sharp blade with an exaggerated shape. Blade shimmers with a hint of coldness, is filled with tin foil color, and undoubtedly has super sharpness. After all, Du Yi devoured Ulu steel, and Wabo alloy. After refining the Tiger Talisman, his own abilities have also been integrated and coordinated, and have been improved to an unprecedented level. Rough calculation. The strength has more than doubled. Enough to slaughter all the shadow soldiers. Even General Sombra is no exception. Call out. The Widow Sister disappeared in place. Next moment, it appeared in front of the soft shadow core. The cold, charged blade draws a graceful arc in the air. Like a flying star, almost too fast to be caught by the human eye. In an instant, the tenacious and powerful feet are broken at the root. The shadow soldier could not help but let out a hysterical cry. Eyes wide open one after another. Glare, he waved the remaining touch foot again, like a steel whip, and slapped him hard. Little Na, watch the sky. A sneak attack. Hawkeye and Captain America's faces changed dramatically. The voice did not fall. One after another, blazing and dazzling qigong waves spewed out from Kang Ying's palm, shaped like a bolt of lightning fast enough to open up mountains and crack the ground and evaporate fossils. Ordinary people can't take a blow at all. Moreover, qigong waves can also be turned into chains, restricting the movement of the enemy. It's just that the Widow Sister didn't change her face. A smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. So slow. Almost at the same time. Hiss, sizzle. The jet black liquid fiber transformed from the shape of the charged blade into an indestructible black shield. The surface was covered with hard shell glue, and it was filled with an alloy color. Even the high-temperature qigong waves of wrought iron poured onto the black shield in an instant. However, The roar of gold and iron clashing resounded through the sky. Strings of sparks burst out. But it didn't hurt. Even breaking defenses is a luxury. Wearing a black gel coat, with high heels, and holding a black light shield, the Widow Sister is like a goddess of war who takes the lead. Her long wine red hair is dancing, and her cheeks are dripping with sweat. Even Captain America and Hulk looked straight. Dog man. Where you shouldn't look, don't look. The maddening roar sounded. The Venom symbiote, like Hezi rooted in her waist, can also share her senses with her. Help her defend against incoming enemies from other directions. Moreover, you can also use the innate ability. Frozen roar sucks. Woo, woohoo. I saw Venom Hezi suddenly sucking in a cool breath. Spit it out suddenly. An extremely icy cold air instantly enveloped a radius of about 5 meters. All the shadow soldiers within sight, almost without exception, were instantly frozen into lifelike ice sculptures. Next moment, I saw 2 bright beams lit up at the pupil position of Venom. It's like being inlaid with 2 rounds of scorching sun. The scorching hot vision, at an incredible speed, shoots the ice sculptures one after another. The whole process went smoothly. There is almost no sluggishness and stagnation. The 2 of them work so well together. Demonstrated unparalleled fighting power. It can completely kill Hulk, who is good at brutal collision. Enough to call it the strongest force of the Avengers Alliance. My God, Venom and Widow Sister. Beautiful. Why am I not the host of Venom? Envy, jealousy, hate. Xiao Yu and Xiaosh couldn't help gnashing their teeth. But there is no way to change the facts. After all, it was the Venom symbiote that chose Sister Widow, not Sister Widow who chose Venom. The Widow Sister is not so much the host. Rather, it's a horse. Without Venom, the Widow Sister will be useless. However, Sombre Core has a well-known BJFF characteristic. Forbidden. Immortal. Even if it evaporates, it can be perfectly restored, and it can be summoned endlessly, just like the extreme violence of a strategy game, making up for quality through quantity, forming an overwhelming advantage. What's more, the individual strength of the Shadow Soldier is not inferior to the well-trained high-level agent. Once the stamina of the Avengers Alliance and the Dragon Group is exhausted, the Shadow Soldiers will surely counterattack. Instant victory. How to do? There is no way to break the protective cover, and the snake catch cannot be completed. The Hydra organization will also boost morale. There are bound to be more freak cells. Accelerate to dominate the world. The Widow Sister had a worried look on her face. At this moment, she has insight into the decline of the Avengers Alliance and the Dragon Group. Even the true Wagyu warriors, with their unusual physique and endurance, can't match the never-tired Shadow Soldiers. Even Hawkeye's high-tech arrows are about to shoot into the air. Defeated like a mountain. Who says there's no way to break the shield? Hands together. The next moment is to witness the miracle. Du Yi is full of grins. Immediately, Sister Widow clapped her hands. A roar of dragons resounded through the sky. I saw the vigorous and knotted ancient tree, skyrocketing wildly, and instantly turned into a ferocious beast with a length of 10 feet and a sharp horn. The shape resembles a dragon. The body surface is covered with tough scales. The neck and feet are coiled with lush foliage. As soon as he appeared, he rushed towards the Hydra castle at the end of his sight. The snake body twists and contracts. Moment. A sour twisted sound came out. Everyone was dumbfounded. Wood escape. The art of the wood dragon. This is a sky-defying ninjutsu that can restrain the strongest tailed beast, the Kurama. The handsome and domineering wooden dragon, following Du Yi's will, pounces directly on the energy shield that protects the Hydra castle. Click, click. The noise of glass bursting continued. Everyone subconsciously covers their ears. I just feel black in front of my eyes. Do not. Quote. Impossible. The protective cover is absolutely fine. This is a great invention that can withstand nuclear bombing. Inside the castle, wearing a monocle and wearing a dark combat uniform, Baron Stark pulls his pupils violently. However, after all, the arm can't twist the thigh. After a while of wrestling, the equipment responsible for maintaining the energy shield started to smoke, and it seemed that it was about to fail. What happened? Baron Strucker was out of breath. Can't help but yell. Quote. When the shield was invented, this situation was not taken into account. The expert in the white coat shivered. Then, the deafening roar suddenly exploded. A mountain is shaking. The ceiling shakes off a lot of smoke. Baron Strucker, who was about to fall, was firmly supported by a pair of strong hands. Stracker, don't be afraid. I will fight off the Avengers Alliance. Making Hydra organization great again. A magical voice sounded. Alexander Pierce, led by Brock Rumlow, Bucky Barnes, John Garrett, appeared in the control room side by side. All four wore black shadow masks. Evil face, like a demon stepping out of hell. As if every pore is spewing blood flames. The crowd cast their gazes in awe. No one dares to look directly at General Sombra. Quote. Pierce, the mask on your face is the shadow mask. Baron Strucker reacted a little and couldn't help but let out a startled roar. Even the voice was raised 2 octaves. Shadow mask. Does it really exist? He thought it was an ethereal legend. Think Pierce is crazy. Just excluded him from the center of power. Result. Joker is me. That's right, Stracker. The legends are not necessarily false. Otherwise, the Hydra organization would cease to exist. Hydra hail. Alexander Pierce has a straight back. Strong takeover of Hydra Castle. Baron Strucker has no problem with this and dare not express any negative emotions. After all, the Avengers Alliance has breached the energy shield. With only the armed forces of the Hydra organization, there is no way to save the situation. Cut off one head, and 2 grow in the distance. Hydra, hail, Crossbones, Winter Soldier, Acute Eyes, all in unison, roar shouted the slogan of the Hydra organization. The voice fell. One after another, shadows came running from all directions. Like living things. Then he transformed into a shadow soldier of various shapes. Clamp shadow, empty shadow, soft shadow, scythe. In groups, as many as the hair of a cow. No one can estimate the number. In an instant, a black shadow force of unprecedented scale was formed. Shaped like a tide, rushed to the Avengers Alliance and the Dragon Squad. OMG. Unlucky, unlucky, unlucky. Archaeologists hurriedly retreated. I can't help but get mad. He never dreamed that there were so many shadow soldiers hidden in the Hydra Castle, almost endless. Within the field of vision, there are dark shadow warriors with ferocious faces, fighting on the 2 fronts. Perfectly followed, Pierce's instructions. The array advances and retreats in an orderly manner, without any loopholes and shortcomings. The ultimate brutalist gameplay of strategy games. In the hands of Alexander Pierce, it's simply on full display. After all, Pierce had run SHIELD and was involved in World War II before becoming Secretary General of the Security Council. His military acumen and strategic vision are beyond the reach of General Mummy. Even if a Sombra team loses, there will be follow-up troops to follow. Constantly harass the enemy. When the enemy is tired, we fight. When the enemy advances, we retreat. When attacking, we are unprepared and surprise. Just stunned Captain America. How is this possible? Who is commanding the Shadow Soldiers? Shadow Samurai without thinking actually shows the style of guerrilla warfare. The people behind the scenes went to the Shunzhou Military Academy for further studies. Captain America's eyes widened. First stumble. It is said that during the Second World War, the unreachable land of China invented an effective strategy for combat. It's called the 16-character formula. It's just that he didn't have the opportunity to visit the East. It crashed into a polar glacier. However, who would have thought? Today, half a century later, he actually saw this style of play again, which made him feel an ecstasy, and even his blood boiled, but there was no soldier who could command. Soldier, I have it. Dui smiled coldly. Moment. He unleashed the power of the shadow. Summoned the obedient ninja soldiers. The scale is tens of thousands, standing silently, not inferior to other corps at all. Black Shadow Ninja, like the most perfect shadow soldier. He is good at using various tools, and can also attack from a distance and melee. His movements are vigorous and agile, and he can also deploy his wingsuits to flight. Although, the defense is relatively weak, unable to communicate with people. But enough. Almost forgot. Venom can also summon shadow soldiers. Awesome. Team leader. Give it to you. The Dragon team couldn't help but cheer. There is no doubt that there is unprecedented trust and respect for this successful World War II veteran. He was the one who led the Roaring Commando, attacked the Nazi Empire head-on, and solved the evil head of state who was behind everything, the founder of the Hydra organization. Red Skull, you can now command Sombra soldiers. Du Yi sneered again and again, also looking forward to Captain America's performance. After all, the most outstanding thing about Captain America is not his physique and appearance, but his extraordinary military talent, Superman's first-class leadership ability. There are also forward-looking and vicious strategic vision. Therefore, he will successfully lead the Roaring Commando and destroy the Hydra organization's nest in one fell swoop. Speed up the end of World War II. It is good. Pick up the pulse weapons scattered by the Hydra organization. Divided into 4 directions array. Team 1 is the main attack, Team 2 is in the air, Team 3, Team 4, flank to interfere with the enemy, Team 5 and 6, try to break through. By the way, determine the hiding place of the enemy chief. Without any hesitation, Captain America issued a series of orders in an orderly manner. Black Shadow Ninja is also highly cooperative, also keenly aware of his intentions. There was no hesitation. Tangled, he directly picked up the pulse weapons scattered on the ground and divided them into 6 combat teams, showing an amazing execution ability. In an instant, the situation reversed again. Avengers Alliance and Dragon Group can't help but eyelids go wild. Face to face. What the hell? Is this the Black Shadow Corps? My god. Different people commanding the Shadow Soldiers, how can they be so different? Fortunately, Venom does not understand strategic military skills. The crowd couldn't help but whisper. But it made Du Yi's head bigger. To shut up. Learn to talk on the first day. My uncle's strength is unfathomable, enough to be 1,000 horses, there is no need to study tactics. Du Yi was incompetent and furious. I really admire Captain America's strategic mind. No wonder. Captain America will be the leader of the Avengers Alliance. Even Tony Stark has to come under Captain America. Finally solved the case. Who is commanding Sombra? Steve Rogers. Just looking for death. Bucky. Kill him for me. Alexander Pierce was furious. Sit back and watch the Black Shadow Corps retreat. Finally made a decision. I plan to use his carefully prepared whole cards. Winter Soldier. Bucky Barnes. He's HYDRA's best hitman and best friend of the United States Captain Steve Rogers. After falling off a cliff during World War II, he was discovered by Dr. Anamzola, who installed a robotic arm and injected a copycat version of the super soldier serum. After a long period of brainwashing and training, he became the first Winter Soldier. And he was the one who killed Howard Stark and his wife. The death video is still preserved in the abandoned fortress in Siberia. As ordered, Winter Soldier has an evil voice. I saw him wearing an orange mask. Sharp fangs. Harry. The expression did not fluctuate in the slightest. Because he was brainwashed by the Hydra organization. Even the past has been forgotten. What he can do. Only complete the command. The Shadow Mask has also greatly improved his 3-dimensional attributes, and has been further strengthened and empowered on top of the super soldier physique. The bulk has grown a bit. There was a bloody aura all over him. The mask hides his true face. Not even Captain America can see through his real body. Boom, dong dong, military boots tread on marble floor tiles. Immediately there was a dull and powerful echo. Next moment, an endless stream of soft shadow soldiers suddenly bowed, as if they were welcoming their king. Rezu Mask. What? This mechanical arm is so similar. Du Yi narrowed his eyes. In an instant, he has insight into the true identity of the uninvited guest. Winter Soldier. Bucky. Like what? Venom. The widow's sister heard a babble. Couldn't help frowning. At this moment, she also perceives a dangerous approach. Heart is a little tight. Even with the protection of the Venom gel coat, she still felt a biting chill. Without thousands of human lives and blood debts, she would never develop this viciousness. Like a thorn in the back. Like sitting on pins and needles. Like a stick in the throat. In an instant, one after another, tenacious tentacles lashed at Sister Widow. The sound of breaking the sky is endless. Soft shadow moves so fast, it also frightened the Widow's sister. Her reaction was obviously half a beat slower. Stupid woman. Distraction at a critical moment. Are you going to kill yourself? Du Yi yelled loudly. Immediately, he unleashed the power of the chicken and rabbit talisman and rushed straight to a height of 100 meters, perfectly dodging the oncoming tentacles. At the same time, Venom Hezi also looked like lightning, and shot out 2 blazing dazzling laser beams. Electric Eye is compelling. The Night Bat warrior who follows him instantly collapses in shape. It's all gone in pieces. However, more Night Bat fighters rushed in front of him again, raising their hands and hitting a wave of qigong with an unprecedented scale. The sound of breaking the wind was almost deafening. Da, da da, one after another, high-tech arrows came first, and then shot the first batch of empty shadows. Perfectly resolved the danger that the Widow Sister was in. Corona, no thanks. Hawkeye waved, but it made Dewey furious. Is it your turn to be courteous? Idiot, next time. I'll kill you on the spot. Nani, the liquid life from space actually knows Dongying's swear words. Simply incredible. Sumo Samurai Trudeau was stunned. Almost suspected that he had hallucinations. Cough cough. You heard right. Quote quote. It seems to be really very protective of the Lord. The bull warrior pinched his chin. She couldn't help but look at Mrs. Widow more. Because she is so adorable. The black glossy gel coat perfectly fits the curve of her body and outlines the perfect line arc, and her 10 fingers are also covered with finely stitched mesh sleeves. Gorgeous, dignified, yet elegant and noble. Even the world-renowned Hollywood actress is not as good as 1/10,000th of her demeanor. The Venom hezi blooming on the waist is also shaped like the arms and legs of an octopus. Can provide extra vision. It also gave the Widow Sister a trace of evil that was hard to hide. Like the Queen of Nightmares. Guardian, blind your dog's eyes. This uncle is the master. Hiss, sizzle, a hissing sound rang out. The liquid pitch-black substance completely enveloped the graceful Widow Sister, and officially incarnated as a female Venom. She was tall and tall, like a ghost who had fallen into hell. The cow warrior, who had never seen the complete body of Venom, suddenly widened his eyes. Oh, God, there are such terrifying creatures in the world. Buddha fist. Go to hell. A sonorous and powerful sound of intimidation sounded. The body of the female Venom seemed to be plated with a layer of brilliant gold, and the size of the whole person was doubled again, and he opened the form of a big Buddha. Without the weakening of the entropy increase effect, he can truly exert the power of the Buddha fruit. Moreover, the number 5 compound and 10 spells also enhanced his combat power again. Just an ordinary Buddhist fist. It poured out an unprecedented spiritual pressure. By surprise, the Night Bat soldiers within a radius of 10 meters were directly crushed into a pool of ashes by the surging fist pressure. Taking him as the center, an absolute vacuum zone appeared unexpectedly. Due to the instinct of fear, the Night Bat soldiers hurriedly pulled away and retreated. One punch. Terrible so. Shit, how is this possible? The Venom symbiote can actually transform. Pierce leaned forward, staring at the surveillance screen. His pupils were shaking constantly, and the whites of his eyes shot bloodshots. Venom symbiote, originally owned by Hydra, suddenly out of control. Even the Life Foundation, which was supported by the Hydra organization, fell apart. The existence of the Hydra organization means that Venom is made public. Venom, it is the culprit that destroyed the Hydra organization. Alexander Pierce, who never dreamed that he was so wise, was pecked in the eye by a house sparrow. Played with applause by Venom. Jin, when are you going to watch the play? The 5 generals of the Shadow can join forces, and they may not be able to kill the Venom. Kill you first. Alexander Pierce was like a behemoth of rage, his eyes almost popping out of his pupils. He was furious. Fly into a rage. The mummy general sealed in the no mask is also deepening his influence, and it seems that he is about to occupy his heart. Do not worry. Venom's weakness has been found. Jin smiled coldly. The light fell on him. Half light and half dark against his face. Intimidating. Can't help but admire his brains and insight. Weakness. What weakness? Pierce grinned. Sounds like the sound of heaven. Call out. Shish. One shadow after another, rushing towards, and then transformed into a burly and powerful troll warrior with a fist width that exceeds the waistline of ordinary people. Due to the participation of the troll warriors, the situation that had been reversed, has once again undergone a 180-degree upheaval. The thick-skinned, tall and mighty troll warrior is as steady as a mountain in the face of the shooting of the pulse weapon, and he has no intention of moving his footsteps. Even if the firepower of the ninja corps is pouring frantically, it can't shake the troll warriors. Troll Corps, the absolute defense of the Sombra soldiers. Even the fiery power of the dragon talisman, the troll warrior can still bear it. Boom. Dong dong dong. Heavy and powerful footsteps sounded. The troll warrior took the lead, resisting the hail of bullets and moving forward. At the same time, Scythe, Clamp Shadow, 2%. Soft Shadow. They also accelerated the pace of their attacks, following the instructions of Alexander Pierce, under the cover of the troll warriors, constantly attacked and infested the Avengers Alliance. Unlucky. Bad luck, bad luck. Dad, hurry up and think of a way. Archaeologists can't help but hold their heads and go crazy. Unexpectedly, the defensive power of the troll warrior is so amazing. It is enough to be called the indestructible body of King Kong. Oops, don't rush Daddy, one more thing. The monsters and monsters leave. An old, hoarse voice echoed. I saw my father clench the pufferfish and gecko, and the 257 was like a western cowboy who fired a double gun, constantly hitting one after another with green rays. Even Trudeau followed suit. The blazing and dazzling magic rays were then intertwined into a net of heaven and earth, carrying an awe-inspiring sense of justice, instantly annihilating the shadow soldiers. However, no matter how many shadow soldiers you kill, there will be more to make up for the gap. Simply annoying. Finally willing to show up. Golden N. Duyi's face was hideous. At this moment, his appearance was plated with a layer of gold, and a bright halo shrouded his hands. Under the influence of various abilities, it has been about 10 times stronger than the past. Even if there is no corresponding spell to remove the shadow mask, it will not prevent him from killing Jin and swallow the fruit. Endowed him with the ability to eat nothing in the world. Even those who eat ability have a chance to inherit ability. However, who can guarantee the probability of this? So, before that, he didn't try to swallow gold alive for the first time. If I can't inherit the power of the shadow of Jinbian, I'm afraid he will cry without tears. However, the perfect quality black light virus solved his concerns and raised the probability of being illusory to 100%. Through the black light virus and the power of swallowing the fruit, he will surely be able to successfully inherit the dark shadow energy of Jinbian. More than just gold and all Sombra generals, I will be reduced to my food. Duyi's eyes were red. No worries at all, he's turned into a symbiote anyway. Secular law, morality, and human-defined rules and regulations are invalid for alien creatures. What, Venom, I have discovered your weakness. You can't be mad for too long. Jin frowned. Secretly blame yourself for being confused. The answer lies in the riddle. And he never saw it. Weakness. What's the meaning? Venom has a weakness. It's over. How on earth did he find out? Everyone reacted a little, and a heated discussion broke out. Even the non-stop fighting machine. Hulk frowned slightly after he took down a troll warrior, as if he was doubting the authenticity of Jin Bing's words. Venom. His words. Can you believe it? Aren't you the most special symbiote? There was a burst of heartbeat from Sister Widow. However, Duyi has never been able to relax. Is it? Kim didn't really discover his unknown weakness. With a serious appearance, even he was fooled. Symbiote. You can't survive alone without a host. Just separate you and the host. You are sure to lose. Kim did not hide the slightest bit, and directly exposed his intentions. Then, can't stop laughing out loud. Fools have 1,000 worries, and they will have something. What's more, he already has a brain and IQ that is different from ordinary people. Even if he doesn't reach the level of a super genius, it's not far behind. The underworld king who controls 40% of all criminal transactions in the United States. It really did make a dent in the fire. However, Duyi almost laughed out loud. That's it. It seems that Jinping has really been attacked by General Mummy. Already insane. Even the Avengers Alliance and the Dragon Group are full of surprises. Because, in the Battle of District 13, after the Venom symbiote escaped from the Little Snake, it also showed impressive force in the absence of a host. It is enough to prove that the Venom, even if there is no host, will not die in a short time. Silence. It means you acquiesce. Tremble. Venom. Jin Bing's eyes widened, and with the thick beard and hair of the summer mask, his expression became even more ferocious and cruel. He looks like a ghost, and his whole body exudes a sinister and ominous aura. Even the white suits are like ghost clothes, with a filthy color flowing. Go. Separate Venom and Natasha Romanoff. I'll be the new host of Venom. Pierce finally showed up, from behind the scenes to the front of the stage. He wears the cabo mask, and his body has grown a bit, and he can't see any old age at all, and he has youthful vitality again. It is he who is commanding the Shadow Soldiers. However, still no match for Captain America Steve Rogers. Captain America commanded the Ninja Corps and directly crushed the Four Shadows Alliance. It can be seen that the strategic vision and military level of the two people are very different. Boom, bang bang bang. A deafening sonic boom exploded. The four generals of the Shadows suddenly stepped on the ground with their toes, like galloping cannonballs, and rushed straight towards Venom. With the physical strength and secret skills provided by General Mummy, everyone gets the battle ability that the Avengers Alliance has never dreamed of. What? Do you really think you've got me? It's hilarious. Dewey smiled coldly. Frozen roar suck. Woo, woohoo. An extremely cold and quick freezing ultra-low temperature cold air, followed by a freezing cold current of unprecedented scale, instantly enveloped the menacing Shadow General. The air Shadow Soldiers who couldn't react in time directly turned into lifelike ice sculptures, losing the ability to control the air. Fall from the sky. However, the four generals of the Shadows, regardless of their speed, agility, and ability to respond to their nerves, have reached a level that no one can match. At the critical moment, using the ice sculpture as a foothold, he turned the direction abruptly, avoiding the fan-shaped frozen roar suction. Above the fist, there seems to be a black aura. The texture is like steel. The deafening sound of breaking the sky exploded. A sudden burst of invisible air shockwave. Like a powerful high-pressure air knife. The ferocious aura that rushed to the face made everyone couldn't help but their eyes widened, and their hearts were mentioned in their throats. What? Do you think that this level of attack can cause trouble for me? It seems that General Mummy has really crushed your IQ. Dewey burst into laughter. He didn't mean to dodge at all. There is no need to dodge at all. Buzz. I saw that the golden color of the body surface deepened again, and even his eyes and throat spurted out a bright light. He pushed the Buddha fruit to the extreme. The strength and defense have also skyrocketed to an unprecedented height again. The space he is in is constantly shaking. In an instant, air shockwaves swept in. Then there was a high-pitched roar of Hongzhong Dalu. No visible damage at all. It seems that breaking defense is a luxury. It's my turn. Hydra. Dewey let out a roar suddenly. The rolling sound waves directly swept away the low-hanging and depressing lead clouds. Let the bright moon disk appear in front of everyone again. Moonlight is falling down. Against his figure, the unattainable majestic deity, his gestures are filled with a suppressing force that 100 ghosts can't get close to. Venom, come on. There was a rumbling sound. Widow's sister has never been disconnected, and is wrapped and protected by him in all directions, and can also understand his vision and body reflection through his shared senses. Although, facing the 5 Shadow Generals, the Widow's sister couldn't help pinching her sweat, and she was also worried about the weakness of Venom. She was really insightful by the Underworld Emperor. But I still believe that Venom can win. Let the Hydra organization come to nothing. Never get mad. Even the production line of freak cells will be uprooted. Can't let another brand new species rise. It will undoubtedly seize the living space of ordinary people. It seems, we have to find a way to convince the Widow's sister. Except the weirdo. Dewey frowned. Next moment. Buzzing. The dazzling electric light rays, as well as the hot and scorching violent heat, poured out from his eyes and mouth crazily. 3 distinct oscillating beams of light suddenly formed a beam on the way, and suddenly expanded to an unprecedented scale. About half a meter in diameter. The air is also filled with a pungent sulfurous smell. As if the long-suppressed volcano finally erupted. Immediately hit Brock Rumlow not far away. Shoot him down suddenly. Directly overturned to an extremely distant place. With a strong physique and a burly and powerful body, it collapsed into pieces of vigorous ancient trees. Startled countless night owls and birds. The whole life is dead. Immediately, Dewey did the same again. Shoot down the other 3 Sombra generals one after another. It seems to show the absolute advantage of force. Didn't even feel tired at all. Hiss. Quote, no way. He actually has this incredible ability. Because he got 10 spells. I would call Venom the strongest force in the Avengers Alliance. Hulk, you can't change this fact by glaring at me. The Avengers Alliance and the Dragon team couldn't help but be speechless. After a short silence, I couldn't help smacking my tongue. There is hardly an accurate word to describe everyone's mood. Shocked, apprehensive, or happy. After the Venom symbiote chose the Widow Sister, it seems that it has really embarked on the right path, and it has a qualitative metamorphosis when it comes to dealing with people and things. It seems there is also a great mutual influence between the symbiont and the host. Wonder how Stark gets along with his symbiote. I heard that he has been researching a new kind of intelligent memory material. Overturn all the design ideas of the Mark series of armors. Going to take a completely different path. Don't come here, Venom. There is something to say. Isn't it thanks to the Hydra organization that you can come to Earth? Without the Life Foundation, you are still wandering in space. How could it be possible to come to the Earth to be king and hegemony? We may not have the opportunity to cooperate. Pierce's physique was a mess, and the well-cut high-end suits were beyond recognition. Even if the Sombra mask has improved his all-round attributes, because the time is too short, it has not reached an unattainable level. Crossbones, Winter Soldier, acute eyes, too. That's why they lost so miserably. Only Jin and is superior. He has always been dormant and hidden, not showing the mountains are due, and his emotions and anger are not visible, but he has reached a tacit agreement with General Mummy. Got the ninjutsu and secret techniques taught by the Mummy General. Chapter 71. Cooperation. Lord it over. Your lines. Almost indistinguishable from Drake. Duyi's face was hideous, and he couldn't help but let out a burst of magical and evil ravings. Then, he directly pinched Alexander Pierce's neck. Lift it up. Hiss. Sizzle. A roar sounded. The pitch-black liquid substance directly formed the overwhelming net-like fiber whiskers, wrapping him in one fell swoop. In an instant, a terrifyingly shaped humanoid cocoon was formed. Liquid fibers are constantly flowing on the surface. Next moment, Duyi activated the power of swallowing fruit. He's going to plunder the shadow energy wielded by Alexander Pierce. Take the hunter core for yourself. In the humanoid cocoon, Alexander Pierce suddenly opened his eyes. His heart was beating wildly, and he had already seen the coming of death. But there is no way to escape. No matter how he waved his fists, he couldn't destroy the cocoon of symbiote fibers. It seems that all the tricks are on cotton. Even a high-pressure air knife can at most tear open a hole. Innocent. Pierce, stop struggling. You will be my food, and I will inherit your entire memory and ability. I will control the Hydra organization for you, and you can rest in peace. A strange and magical voice echoed. Pierce fell into the abyss. I can't help my scalp go numb. Food. Venom is going to eat itself. Do not. Please do not. Correct. Natasha Romanoff. The Widow Sister must be able to convince Venom not to do such things that go against nature and morality. Little Na. Romanov. Miss Widow. Hurry up and stop the Venom. The Venom is planning to eat people. As the host of the Venom symbiote, you have decided to stand on the opposite side of humans. Have you really become a downright cannibalistic monster? Pierce roars. I intend to awaken the Widow Sister's few consciences. In exchange for a chance to live. However, the Widow Sister couldn't hear his wailing at all. Next moment, deep in the crevice of the cocoon, streaks of liquid fibers emerged again, shaped like black oil, directly submerging Alexander Pierce. The effect is comparable to aqua regia. It also gave Duyi an unprecedented feeling of fullness. It seems that the neurons are constantly hissing. Pleasure. High spirits. His guess was absolutely correct. The perfect black light virus has indeed raised the power of Tuntun fruit to an unprecedented level. After he refined Pierce, he also inherited Pierce's memory and the power of the shadow. However, with the injection of another complex memory, Duyi seemed a little lost. Because, not only did he eat Pierce, he also ate General Mummy. The dazzling pictures of light and shadow came one after another. Duyi feels his brain swell, as if General Mummy and Pierce's soul were about to devour his own spiritual will. But at this time, the power of the sheep talisman suddenly takes effect. A pure and grand magic power baptized his body and mind in all directions, and also suppressed the evil spirits that were about to move, and directly wiped out the evil thoughts. Cool. Duyi opened his eyes again. Two bright beams burst out. He has learned the secrets of the Hydra organization and the past of the Shadow Corps. Ultimate darkness. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would never have believed it. The master of the Sombra Corps turns out to be Dormammu. Duyi couldn't help constricting his pupils violently. In Mummy General Cabo's mind, he saw a towering figure standing in the sky. His face was filthy and blurry, resembling the ancestral witch who dominated one side in the ancient times, with bright and deep eyes, as if two planets were inlaid in the eye sockets. The body dial is surrounded by volcanic lava-like material. It seems that every pore is spewing a thin black light. Incredibly awesome. Don't dare to look straight. Gee, Duyi never dreamed that the Shadow Corps in this world would be so deeply implicated. All Shadow Warriors are magical creations of Dormammu, and all Mummy Generals have also been gifted by the Lord of Darkness. Ultimate Darkness. Just a shortcut to avoid the magic shield. Definitely. The 7 Samurai of Justice sealed the Mummy General into the No Mask. One of the Black Shadow masks has also become Duyi's food. No longer exists. It can basically be announced that Dormammu's evil plan has officially collapsed. Roar. Not afraid of thieves stealing, but afraid of thieves thinking. Duyi's eyes sank slightly. But I heard a whistle like a yellow warbler coming out of the valley. Venom. Do not be afraid. We're going through all kinds of hardships together. There was a burst of heartbeat from Sister Widow. Simply heartwarming. It also gave Duyi an unprecedented peace of mind. Everything is difficult. We spent together years, Duyi said in a deep voice. Immediately, he raised his head sharply and fixed his sight firmly on Crossbones. He wore a yellow mask. The head is swell, like an angry beast. This is the commander of the Night Bat Corps, Bart. The Night Bat Corps is also the only air combat unit. With a speed beyond the reach of ordinary people, even a sonic fighter cannot be compared with Kongying. Pierce. Evaporated out of thin air. It seems that Venom really has no intention of letting everyone go. I'll take Pierce's place for now, and listen to me. As long as the symbiote and the host are separated, the situation will be reversed, and the heroes of the Avengers Alliance will be buried here. A sonorous and powerful sound of intimidation echoed. Jin Bing took a step and directly displayed the ancient secret method of the Eastern Empire, and even created multiple duplications. The three stood side by side, and there was almost no way to tell the truth from the fake. It was the ninjutsu taught to him by General Mummy. Shadow duplication technique. However, Duyi turned a blind eye. Even almost laughed out loud. That's it. Clap both hands. I saw the liquid substance on the surface of the poisonous liquid, shaking violently, and then turned into a wooden structure, generating a vivid entity duplication. Wood escape. The art of wooden duplication. The effect is twice that of shadow duplication, because the wooden structure enhances the ability to resist an attack, and it can also complete more dangerous actions, and it also has a certain degree of independent judgment. After the duplication is released, the memory and experience of the duplication will return to the original body. On top of this, there is also the technique of multiple wooden duplication, which is even more powerful. It's just that Duyi hasn't mastered it yet. What? No way. Venom can still create duplication. As if he was controlling plants all the time. Riot. Have the same ability. Haven't heard of it. Venom is the most special symbiote. The Avengers Alliance and the Dragons group are talking. Next moment, Jin Bing's shadow duplication slammed his toes on the ground, suddenly turned into a fast-moving high-speed train, and rushed towards Duyi. However, due to the weak nature of shadow duplication, there is simply no way to match wood duplication. Boom, bang 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 bang. A series of roars sounded. Shadow duplication exploded one after another. Even Jin Ning felt a psychic shock. As if a pair of invisible hands are stirring his brains. The pain at the death of the shadow duplication was perfectly reflected on Jin Bing. Troll Corps. Attack. Jin pulled away and retreated. Roar once again called the darkness in the depths of the heart. The burly and powerful troll warrior with big arms and round waist, wake up again. Boom. Dong dong dong. Heavy footsteps sounded. It's just the troll warrior, who didn't choose to attack Duyi, but aimed at the Avengers Alliance and the Dragon Group, and raised his fist. Not even a magic ray can seriously injure a troll. Next moment, the soft Shadow Corps, also following Jin Bing's command, violently threw out its resilient arms, binding the souls of the Avengers Alliance and the Dragon Team. Avoid the escape of superhero. Standing above the clouds, the night bat warrior who was always waiting for an opportunity to move, then hit a qigong wave. The situation took a turn for the worse. Venom. Want to make sure the little girl's safety. Just leave Natasha Romanoff. Otherwise, all you have to do is get her body. A hysterical growl sounded. At some point, Xiao Yu became a hostage and was pulled up by Winter Soldier's collar and lifted into the air. Even if she punched and kicked, she didn't mean to let go. His face was extremely solemn. With just one glance, Xiao Yu's face was full of horror, and she got goosebumps all over. Turn out to be, all the previous actions are to cover up this move. Even Clint Barton, who was watching and listening to all directions, did not notice it. Idiot, Xiao Yu, let go of Xiao Yu, something is coming at me. True, Daddy, Little Snake, Niu Warrior, and her Uncle Long couldn't help but look panicked. Full of worry, wearing the Rezu mask, Winter Soldier looks like a ghost who stepped out of hell, and the metal arms are filled with cold color, exuding an inhuman feeling. Quote. Somewhat familiar, quote. Captain America's eyes widened. With his extraordinary vision, he can't help but have a keen insight into a wrong place. On the body of General Sombra, a birthmark resembling a close friend appeared. Bucky Barnes. There is also a birthmark in the same location. He will never forget. Is it? After he carefully observed Winter Soldier's figure and facial features, the tiger's body suddenly shook violently. Bucky, is it you? Boom, like a heavy hammer smashing into the brain. Winter Soldier was struck by lightning. The memories suppressed by the Hydra organization and the Mummy General are also revived at the same moment. But there is no way to face it all. Because he has a lot of blood debts. Have you finally found it? That's right, he's Sergeant Bucky Barnes. Steve, just let him hold the spell. To be able to separate his good and evil personality. Go, only you can save your best friend. Du Yi's eyes turned. Immediately, a temporary spell was reshaped through the symbiont fibers. Tiger Charm symbolizes the yin and yang sides of things. Able to balance the conflict between magic powers. It can also separate the good and evil personalities of the host. Even a small amount of magic power can be injected, and an incredible effect can be erupted, allowing the kind-hearted Winter Soldier to return and complete Du Yi's devouring plan. Quote. Separation of good and evil personalities. Can it really be done? Taking the temporary spell, Roger's eyes narrowed. But still choose to believe in Venom. After all, Sister Widow, the host of the Venom symbiote, is the top Aegis agent he trusts. The big one. Look carefully. The Tiger Charm can separate you and Banner. He should be thinking about it. I hope you think about it too. Clint Barton folded his hands in a trumpet shape. Hurriedly said loudly, separation, Hulk. Banner, Kong Wu's powerful big man, who even spoke words, understood Clint Barton's words, and his eyes suddenly widened. Watch it change. The Tiger Talisman can really separate good and evil personalities. He will definitely accept it without hesitation. Because he is tired of these days. I want to live freely. Not anyone's vassal, nor anyone's burden. Tiger Talisman. Go. Hulk waved his fist, slammed his chest frantically, and suddenly there was a sound of thunder. So that the shadow soldiers can't help but retreat. Dang. Bang bang bang. I saw Steve clench the Tiger Talisman. His whole human shape was like an arrow from a string, and he stepped out with a single arrow. The grass splashed all over, and suddenly rushed towards the Winter Soldier not far away. He must wake up Bucky's sanity. No matter what the cost. Because he and Bucky Barnes have known each other since childhood. Always inseparable, it is also a brother who can entrust the back of the battlefield. He thought Bucky had been buried in the canyon, and he had paid tribute to his dear friend many times. Didn't expect Bucky to miraculously survive and become a minion of the Hydra organization. It seems, it was the Hydra organization that rescued Bucky. Xiao Yu, get out of here quickly. Be careful. Captain America's voice was low. In an instant. At a distance of about 100 meters, he jumped directly. Taking advantage of Winter Soldier's short-lived memory chaos, he also rescued Xiao Yu by the way. Buzzing. Press the Tiger Charm to Winter Soldier's heart. In an instant. Brilliant. The figure wearing the shadow mask actually raised his head and roared, splitting into two at the same moment. They fell into two completely different directions. How is this going, Rogers? Is the war over? Bucky scratched his head. It seems that the memory of the good personality still lingers during World War II. Then, he suddenly found his broken arm. Sections of video images, like a flood that burst a levee, swept over it. Bucky sees all his past. The whole person was bombarded with thunder. Eyes are red, especially after finding that he personally killed his best friend Howard Stark and his wife. He almost broke the defense on the spot, almost collapsed, and was completely desperate. Bucky, it's me. The war is over. The Hydra organization is about to end. Roger's eyes lit up. He could hardly believe his eyes. Be as young as him, because of freezing technology. Or some other unknown reason. Finally, in this fast-changing 21st century, I have my own family too. Hydra, it won't be over. Cut off one head and grow two in place. Hydra hail, a devilish voice echoed. I saw a location not far away, the evil Winter Soldier wearing the mask of General Bart, as if he had lost his long-standing burden. There was a crackling sound all over the body. It's just so relaxing. Evil Winter Soldier not only inherited the soul of the mummy general, but also imprinted a deep Hydra mark. Totally embraced the darkness. Even if Dewey eats and wipes, there is no psychological pressure at all. Nani. So what Venom said is true. The tiger talisman symbolizing both sides of yin and yang can really separate good and evil personalities. Banner and Hulk. Can it be divided into two? Huge. Do you understand? Everyone witnessed the miracle with their own eyes, and a heated discussion broke out. Immediately, they all turned their attention to the Hulk. Invincible Hulk. Hulk has a sense of autonomy and is not willing to be controlled. I also sincerely feel annoyed by the characteristic that I only show up when I am angry. He wants to be free. Live as you want. Tiger talisman. Hulk needs it. Banner. Go away. The Hulk's voice is rough and wild. Immediately after kicking the ground, a sudden jump instantly moved to Dewey's face. Spread your hands. I asked him for a tiger talisman. Next moment. Hiss, hiss. A hissing sound rang out. Liquid symbiote fiber is a black spell again. The charm has a lifelike animal pattern on the surface. Symbolizes the yin and yang sides of things. It can also separate the good and evil personality of things. No one doubts the efficacy of the tiger charm. After all, the facts are in front of you. Bucky Barnes has been split into two separate entities. Hulk, be free. Squeeze the tiger charm tightly. In an instant, a blazing dazzling light burst out from the tiger talisman, and then spread to all directions. Boom, a dull voice resounded. Dr. Banner, with a red upper body and white temples, was lying in the depression among the mountains, carrying the loose and fat trousers. Ended, and many more. Hulk, who lifted my curse? Dr. Banner looked around and suddenly found Hulk on the other side. I saw the burly and powerful Hulk, directly facing him. After a brief daze, both of them burst into laughter. Hulk, free. Hulk screams in the sky. The rolling sound waves directly washed away the night bat regiment that covered the sky. Even the troll warrior, who was caught off guard, stumbled. Cool, awesome. There is no burden at all. No need to worry about getting too excited anymore. Turned into a furious hunk. Dr. Banner was ecstatic. Because of Venom, both are almost happy. It also achieves the anti-sky effect of 1-1 greater than 2. Nice job, Venom. So you're not worthless. Dr. Banner, you might consider changing into this suit. A sumo warrior with a big shoulder and a round waist handed over a vest. His size, for Dr. Banner, the vest can also be regarded as a robe, at least no need to carry the belt. Thanks, Year. True. Dr. Banner laughed. The joy is beyond words. Even the hideous-looking Venom symbiote feels a bit pleasing to the eye. Hope Xiaona and him can be happy forever. There is such a thing. Symbolizes yin and yang, separation of good and evil personalities. It seems that there is no need to stay here any longer. Jin and his eyes were fierce. The whole person is gloomy to the extreme. Who can believe there is such a heaven-defying prop on the earth? He had intended to separate the symbiote from the host. Result: Venom actually separates Winter Soldier's good and evil personalities. Smart is mistaken by smart. Where are you going? Pierce fell, Hydra was destroyed, and I had nowhere to go, so I might as well continue working together. Jin, Crossbones, acute eyes, surrounded them one after another. Both of them wore black shadow masks, but they didn't really become fools, and they were still able to clearly judge the situation. Hydra is at the end of the line. Leave the Green Hills, don't worry about no firewood. $7. I know a place. Being able to rebuild my criminal empire. Jin Bing's pupils were furious. Plans have been made in advance. Where? The two were surprised. Madrid Po. Du Yi was able to crush General Sombra, but there was no way to stop General Sombra from escaping. Crossbones, acute eyes, Jin Bing, fled to 3 directions respectively, got into the dark mountains and forests, a few moved, and disappeared without a trace. Just the evil Winter Soldier froze in place. Considered an outcast by everyone. After all, the evil Winter Soldier is useless. No one has ever dealt with each other. A bunch of cubs. Sooner or later I will have my revenge. Evil Winter Soldier gritted his teeth. Subtle changes in the situation were also found. However, he hadn't even moved his footsteps, but a mighty and powerful behemoth had already descended in front of him, and a bloody aura was blowing towards his face. As if you were facing the ultimate predator at the top of the food chain. Where do you want to go? Have you got my permission? Du Yi's face was full of smiles but not smiles. I saw him condescending, like a bloodthirsty, fierce beast. The liquid fibers on the surface of the body flowed brilliantly, exuding an astonishing momentum, madly scouring the natural phenomena. The evil Winter Soldier is mind-blowing. Half a beat late. Just a stunner. Hiss. Sizzle. Liquid fibrous tissue has bound him. No matter how hard you try, there is no way to break free. The whole person is like falling into a demon, and it seems that the scalp is tingling. Do not stop, Winter Soldier. Rogers. He's going to destroy me. Stop him. Evil Bucky can't help shaking his body. I felt an unspeakable pain. As if Death God was about to swing his scythe. Directly erase all traces of his existence. Rogers. Home, don't believe his lies. Quote, quote, he's General Mummy. The evil spirit sealed by the mask. Du Yi smiled coldly. The voice fell. Captain America and Winter Soldier also had to stop abruptly. There is really no need to rescue this donkeying mummy. Hiss, hiss. The liquid fibers were intertwined and intertwined, instantly forming a black cocoon, which wrapped him tightly. Substances like black oil spilled out. It completely drowned his figure. Next moment, all kinds of influences and pictures, like a flood, swept into the depths of Du Yi's mind. The sheep charm also comes into play at the same moment. Stabilized his mind again. It didn't fail. Awesome. The soft shadow core also belongs to me. Du Yi is ecstatic. Not only that, but even Winter Soldier's innate memories, as well as the metal arms installed by Anam Zola, have become part of him. He was able to simulate mechanical functions through the black light virus. You can also shape the symbiote into a metal arm. Hiss, sizzle. I saw Du Yi spread his palms. On the palm of your hand, the liquid fiber is like a 3D printer, starting to construct, knead, and print layer by layer. At an unbelievable speed, the process of starting from nothing was completed, and a dark arm appeared out of thin air. Fits the body of the Winter Soldier perfectly. Symbiote and muscle tissue connections are able to track Winter Soldier's brain thoughts without any delays and freezes. Moreover, the symbiote arm also has super hardness, weak regeneration ability. Even the characteristics of Wabo alloy form memory have been inherited. This arm, as if it were my arm. Awesome. Bucky waved his arms and his eyes lit up. He also felt a heat current that traveled through the meridians of the whole body, causing Li Jiao his cell metamorphosis. Venom, thanks to you. I apologize to you. I used to have tinted glasses and was full of vigilance against you. Respectful tribute to Captain America. Bucky is back. It made him feel truly at ease and at ease. Hulk. Happy. The savage roar spreads. Hulk is roaring too. In his unique way, express his gratitude. From now on, he has nothing to do with Banner again. There will always be 2 separate entities. Anyway. If not using the Tiger Charm to separate the Hulk Banner. Hulk may actually die. For example, Endgame. Dr. Green. Dr. Banner dominates. It's not over yet. In the Hydra Castle, there must be a production line of monster cells, and this production line must be destroyed before the mission is completed. Captain America strutted. Take the lead. Straight to the solemn Hydra Castle. However, Winter Soldier can't help but frown. Monster cells. Production line. I've been living there lately. Totally unheard of. Bucky wondered. What? Monster cells. Not an invention sentence of the Hydra organization. How is this possible? In addition to the Hydra organization, what other forces can study such disgusting living cells? How many? Winter Soldier hesitated. For example, like what? The crowd whetted their appetites. But I saw Winter Soldier's face full of pain. It seems that I dare not continue to reminisce about the past. Rest assured, you're safe. The Hydra organization will also be destroyed. Captain America tapped him on the shoulder, softly reassuring the Winter Soldier. Roar, roar. After calming down a little, Winter Soldier gathered up his courage and decided to draw a line from the past, sorted out the language, and said, like cutting-edge technology. This is a military research institute under the Hydra organization. After the end of World War II, the Hydra organization parted ways due to a disagreement of philosophy. But it has always maintained a detached relationship. Other than that, and Roxxon Oil, this is an integrated large technology company. Also have a close relationship with the Hydra organization. Finally, it was which specialized in the study of genes and genetic material, and which, when Pierce was Secretary General of the Security Council, also approved a number of provisions targeting transracial. 3 companies have the potential to develop weird cells. Winter Soldier speaks volumes. He retains all his memories. Due to the effect of the Tiger Talisman, he is filled with a sense of justice. However, no matter how righteous he is, he cannot rewrite the past, the bloody debts he bears. Even Howard Stark and his wife were killed by him. Once this incident comes to light, Captain America and Iron Man will no doubt split as well. Definitely, no one has evidence. He also intends to bury this past event in his heart. Never spit it out. Cutting-edge technology. Roxxon Oil Company. Company. Only continue to search. Captain America has deep eyes. But still take it easy. After all, the last stronghold of the Hydra organization has been successfully destroyed by him. Uprooted. Even if a few minions escaped, it would be harmless. Besides, he also met his best friend, Bucky Barnes. I'm sure Peggy will be very excited. Reuniting with old friends. He and Bucky are both young and strong boys, but Peggy has become a gray-haired old woman. Hopefully she doesn't mind. Bucky laughed, but the smile was slightly bitter. At the same time, the liquid fibers that covered the widow's sister receded like a tide, and turned into a well-cut glossy gel coat again. The liquid tissue on the body is like living things, filled with a bright mercury color. Under the reflection of the bright moon, Fairy Guanghan, who looks like a halo, has curved and upturned eyelashes. The face without makeup is like the morning sun reflecting the snow. Incredibly beautiful. Buzzing. An engine roar resounded through the sky. The PAO organization has dispatched a peacekeeping force and has begun to take charge of the follow-up finishing work. Baron Strucker also went to jail. In my lifetime, I am afraid I will never see the sun again. Finally, ended. It's a pity that we didn't investigate the origin of the monster cells. Clint Barton groaned. However, the originator of the freak incident. Far in the sky, close in front of you. What? A bunch of muggles. Sooner or later you will all be transformed into freaks. Quote. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver haven't come to Hydra Castle yet. Dewey muttered secretly. Scarlet Witch. Wanda. As the core life of the multi-universe, it is also the Horcrux BJFF chosen by the ancient god of the underworld, Sithone, with the innate origin magic power, and will be guided by the mind gem. Official recovery. However, Dewey disrupted the rhythm of the story ahead of time. The Hydra Castle was taken away before the evil god Loki. Undoubtedly it will cause an unpredictable chain reaction. Will Wanda still be the Scarlet Witch? Report. Captain. Hydra Castle discovered dungeon. In dungeon, a group of teenagers are imprisoned. It looks like he has been imprisoned for a long time. A PAO soldier gave a military salute. Moment. Dewey's heart skipped a beat. Teenager. Is it? Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver also included. Bring it here. I want to ask about the specifics. Captain America frowned. There is no lower limit to the Hydra organization's style of conduct, even if he has anticipated it. But I didn't expect it at all, it was so outrageous. Teenagers imprisoned in Sokovia, acting as guinea pigs for illegal genetic experiments. Yes, the Hydra organization has always planned to recreate the super soldier serum. Dominate the planet once again with the invincible super soldier. Winter Soldier sighed. What? Too cruel. Hydra is so bad. Little Snake, what happened to you? Are you feeling unwell? Xiao Yu's eyes widened, and she suddenly noticed something unusual about the little snake. His face was extremely pale. The delicate body trembled slightly. Bean-sized beads of sweat kept rolling down his cheeks. She thinks of what happened to her. Once upon a time. She is also a guinea pig for in vivo experiments. Luckily I escaped. I'm just tired. Rest assured. The little snake held up a smile. The voice fell. Team after team of teenagers walked out of the Hydra castle. Everyone's facial features are green, and it seems that they haven't fully grown yet, and they look like they are only 16 or 17 years old, revealing a childishness. He has dark circles under his eyes, and he is skinny. Scarlet Witch, Quicksilver, also part of the team. However, in contrast, the two are much brighter and obviously have not been subjected to too much abuse. It's like volunteering as a guinea pig. Say your names. You two have the right to remain silent. My God. True, I'm just an archaeologist. How did you become a scribe? Jackie Chan looked helpless. Then, the facial features are three-dimensional and delicate. The eyeliner girl wearing a blood-colored trench coat and dark boots, spoke coldly and called out a name. Wanda, Pietro. The burly silver-haired youths were also expressionless, showing a little uncooperative. Hiss, sizzle, a roar sounded. The pitch-black liquid substance penetrated the pore of Sister Widow's body, like a ghoul, and quickly shortened the distance between them. The ferocious beast face directly scared the twin brothers and sisters. Walter, what is this? The pupils of the two of them contracted violently. Heart sinking. Even in front of the Jericho missile crash, there are no sudden monsters that are terrifying. Wanda, Pietro, hi everybody, allow me to introduce myself. I am Venom, a strange and magical voice echoed. Not only the Maximov brothers and sisters, but also the peacekeepers who were responsible for the finishing touches, were stunned. My God, the liquid pests parasitic on the Aegis agent can still speak human words. Who taught him that? Venom, you know them. The Widow sister's voice was moving, like a yellow warbler out of the valley, and she also stepped forward with her slender legs and paced in front of the two of them. No, more than knowing. In HYDRA's memory, I read the hidden potential of the two, and suggested to train the two to become Avengers. Yi is talking nonsense. Actually, is to keep the Scarlet Witch. After all, Scarlet Witch is definitely a key story character. She will be able to give her unprecedented prop rewards. Maybe you can copy Origin magic power over. Hidden potential. Training to be an Avenger. You sure? Avengers admissions standards are higher than any other organization. Clint Barton frowned. Indeed, the mission performed by the Avengers Alliance is to dance on the tip of a knife. How could two apparently immature half-aged children play such an important role? Little dwarf, are you questioning my vision? Wanda and Pietro, either, can surpass what you have accomplished. Don't look down on people. Yi yelled loudly. Not used to Barton at all. Besides, he really wasn't wrong. The innate ability of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch can almost be listed as the pinnacle of changing races. Start as Alpha class. Stop arguing, Venom. I trust your vision. The Widow laughed. Timely stopped the further intensification of the conflict. Then, she couldn't help but blink. It was discovered that Scarlet Witch, who was not yet an adult, had already appeared slim, with a few freckles on his slightly childish face, but it was not harmful. Moreover, the color of her pupils are also different from ordinary people, revealing a lazy and charming green. Just like the bad girl next door, and also like a very noble and glamorous evil spirit. Gee, Venom won't look good, will it? The Widow pretended to be calm. But a hostility emerged. This is a woman's innate intuition. The Avengers, as if Stark was an Avenger too. Do not. I refuse to join. Wanda and Pietro looked at each other. Almost without thinking, he directly declined Venom's invitation. Because, ballistic missile invented by Tony Stark. Turn the two into tragic war orphans. Thinking of working with Tony Stark in the future. Both of them shuddered, rejection written all over the face. Stark, has he hurt you? There's no misunderstanding, right? The archaeologist scratched his head. Although, the cynical playboy, speaking sarcastically, looks contemptuous. Thinking that there are two stinky money is Tianwang lousy. Like, other than that, there are no other cons. Misunderstand. The missile he invented exploded in front of my house, directly killing my parents. Almost killed me and Pietro. You said it was a misunderstanding. Wanda's eyes were red. Even after 10 years have passed, she is still unforgettable, and she will always remember the 2 days and 2 nights hiding under the bed plank without a drop of water. Missile failed for no reason. Only let her and Pietro get their lives back. Failure for no reason. You two underestimate the quality of Stark Industries products. As the world's #1 arms giant, the missiles of the Stark Group have never failed. Du Yi grinned. It directly pierced Wanda's long-standing conjecture. The voice fell. Scarlet Witch, who had a fairy breath, couldn't help frowning, revealing a look of confusion. If the missile didn't fail, why didn't it explode? It doesn't make sense at all. Even Pietro fell into a deep daze. Because, your innate ability, Wanda Maximoff. Magic. Origin magic power. Du Yi didn't cover up. It directly revealed the name of the ability of the Scarlet Witch. Wanda's heart throbbed. Chaos. Magic. Do you really have this ability? Why hasn't it been shown, ever? Wanda spread out her hands. Her delicate and long fingers were as bright as green onions, and her nails were trimmed beautifully. She was taken aback. Begin to doubt life. Indeed. Stark Industries' inventions are almost free of defects. There will be no failures at all. Looks like you. It really has an unknown ability. Captain America nodded. Once again confirmed Du Yi's statement. Then, after thinking for a moment, in a tone as easy as possible, he tried to convince the siblings, Wanda, Pietro, and Stark are just inventors, and he didn't launch missiles himself. Take a 10,000 steps back. Even if there is no Stark, there will still be Pierce, Hydra, and missile development. I am heartbroken and sorry for what happened to you. It's just that I need to make you understand that incompetent MPs, maddened extremist groups, and Hydra should be the targets of your hatred. Captain America is a tough guy with tenderness, reassuring the helpless eyeliner girl. Indeed, even without Tony Stark, there will be other arms dealers. It's just that she really can't take this breath. Stark has closed the weapons R&D department. Prove that he truly repented. I believe, if he learns of what happened to you, he will also say sorry to you. The widow has a sincere face. Heartfelt sympathy for this ill-fated girl. I also believe that she really has an unparalleled special function. Wanda, want to activate your super ability? I have a way. Du Yi spoke at the right time. The words revealed a delusional taste. He seems to be preparing to parasitize Wanda. As for triggering ability, Venom's mouth, deceitful ghost. Getting the system rewards as the last word. Any solution. Are you sure? Wanda raised her head sharply, her eyes burning. The clear green eyes are like a rare gem in the world, and it also reflects Venom's hideous face. She didn't even have the slightest fear. Face to face with Du Yi. They also didn't turn their eyes away. Seeing that Du Yi was a little shy. Be my host. Just a moment. It will allow you to achieve true metamorphosis. Have a super ability that ordinary people can't match. Du Yi suppressed his emotions. There is no sense of urgency. But my heart is about to jump out of my chest. It seems that all the cells throughout the body are speeding up the flow. I can't help the blood rage. The voice fell. Everyone present couldn't help but look weird. They all cast surprised and inexplicable glances. Spinning back and forth between Widow Sister and Aome. Immediately, a wicked smile appeared on the corners of all the men's mouths. This Venom symbiote, truly the most special. It's simply unbelievable. Real. This lady. Are you sure he didn't lie to me? Wanda looked suspicious. Even though she has experienced a series of tragedies and has no formal education, she still has the most basic mind. Don't trust anyone, even aliens are no exception. I can't guarantee it either. If it were me, I would trust him. The widow's sister smiled bitterly. No matter what. Who let himself have a cat that likes to steal food? What can we do then? Definitely forgive him. Perhaps, the idea of the Venom symbiote had long been anticipated, and after discovering that the Venom only needed to parasitize Wanda for a moment, the widow's sister was still a little excited. His favorite host is still himself. Wanda, I respect your opinion. Pietro spread his hands, although he is the elder brother-in-law. But in life, Scarlet Witch is still in charge. Venom. I hope you didn't lie to me. Quote. Ready. Wanda closed her eyes sharply. If you don't see the process, you won't feel the slightest nausea. However, she really underestimated Venom. Hiss. Sizzle. A roar sounded. I saw the Venom symbiote burst out of the body. The area has also expanded to an unprecedented scale. Like an overwhelming web. Pitch black. Weird. The fibrous tissue is connected, like a spider web. Asterisk hash hash asterisk. It has the texture of liquid mercury. Even the members of the Avengers Alliance, the Dragon Group, who are accustomed to it, can't help but feel a panic. Congestion in the chest. Lead clouds obscured the moonlight, and the earth was pitch black. It adds a bit of an ominous vibe. Do not. Wanda, who secretly opened her eyes, saw the Venom symbiote approaching her, and she couldn't help but subconsciously let out a low roar. But it's too late. Venom covers Aome. One after another, extremely thin fibrous tissues dripped onto her cheeks, and they quickly merged and spliced together. Instantly woven into an airtight jet black gel coat. Aome's decent figure is not only more pleasing to the eye, but also has a noble and glamorous temperament, which makes people unable to extricate themselves. And it seems to have really awakened the sleeping power within Aome's body. Duyi felt a burst of numbness and severe pain. Almost instantly. Just got out of the Scarlet Witch. It turned into a liquid again and returned to the Widow's sister. Ding. Congratulations to the host for successfully parasitizing Wanda Maximoff. Rewards have been distributed. Pay attention to check-in time. Fortunately, the parasitism was successful. Otherwise, what a waste of my emotions and acting skills. Duyi almost cried with joy. If you successfully parasitize Wanda, the system will definitely not reward yourself with any ordinary stuff, right? According to Duyi's speculation, the overall value should not be inferior to the Black Light virus. After all, in the entire Marvel multi-universe, the only character who can wrestle with Wanda is Phoenix Chin-Jay. You are hurt, Venom, Widow's sister if feel. Hurriedly asked. As for the fallen Scarlet Witch, in her opinion, it was not that important at all. Yes, it hurts. The origin magic power in her body seems to have a guardian consciousness, and judges me as an intruder. I'm almost gone. Duyi had lingering fears. He has a deep insight into the horror of origin magic power. The magic power that is like a sea and abyss is stored in the body of Scarlet Witch. Even so far, Wanda has not mastered the key to harnessing origin magic power. Oops, origin magic power. It turned out to be origin magic power. Dad thought he felt wrong. The old hoarse voice sounded. I saw the old goat staring at file size, pushing up his reading glasses, and looking at Scarlet Witch carefully. Chaos Force. Could it be on her? How is she still alive? Origin magic power. From the ancient god of the underworld. Sithone. Time over time. A space that transcends space. It symbolizes the indescribable nothingness beyond the realm. Evil never satisfied. It is also a cancer that eats away at the multi-universe. Existed before everything was born. Of eternal opposites. It's an anti-god. Whoever gets Sithon's origin magic power will become the Horcrux marked by him, and will bear an irreversible curse. Beloveds, dear ones, will abandon her. All she can have is endless pain and despair. So, Scarlet Witch lost his parents at an early age. Adult kills Quicksilver. Even the beloved Vision and the children can't keep. Die alone. Duyi listened to the old goat's explanation and couldn't help but feel terrified. No wonder. Scarlet Witch's fate has been bumpy to the point. Is it all origin magic power? Widow Sister and Scarlet Witch can almost be called peerless twins. The level of tragedy is evenly divided. They are all beautiful in tragic white moonlight. Out of reach. No one can open the hearts of the two women. Definitely. Due to the emergence of the Venom symbiote, the fate of the Widow Sister has taken a turn, and she will not bear any grievances and sorrows. 273. No matter how powerful Duyi is, he may not leave Sister Widow, because Sister Widow is too understanding and there is no pressure to get along with her. As for Wanda, Gingerly, it's really sweet and delicious, but it doesn't last long. Whether origin magic power or Phoenix Force, it's not a joke. The ultimate energy that subverts the multi-universe. I'm afraid he is destined to be unable to molest. Tisk. Almost forgot. I haven't checked the system rewards yet. Do ye realized it later? Immediately, the system backpack panel was summoned. I saw a crystal clear jade ring, lying quietly inside. There is a lantern decoration on the surface of the ring. In an instant, Yi couldn't help roar tight. The magic ring of the universe next door, actually got it. Awesome. Green light ring. The magic technology created by the universe Asgardian can mobilize the will energy in the emotional spectrum. Note: the battery is about to run out and needs to be charged in time. Lamp ring. The ring held by Green Lantern, one of the 7 giants of the Justice League. It can fully mobilize the will energy of the holder. Moreover, the actual power that can be manifested as various incredible instruments and objects depends on the will and imagination of the holder. The only fly in the ointment is that the green light ring needs to be recharged in time, and there is no suitable energy source to supplement the energy lost by the light ring. Green light ring. It will also be reduced to an ordinary ring. Fortunately, the secret energy of the universe is everywhere. What's more, in the near future, 3 infinite gems will be coming together in New York. Infinite gems have inexhaustible energy. Enough to charge the lamp ring. Yi is ecstatic. However, he suddenly thought about it, and offering the green light ring as a piece of equipment seems to be too wasteful, and it also overlaps with other abilities. If you use the power of black light virus and swallowing fruit by yourself, eat the green light ring. Is it possible to mass produce the lamp ring? Incarnate yourself as an entity of emotional energy. Lamp beast. Thinking of this, Yi almost did not hesitate at all, and with excitement and anticipation, he directly extracted the green light ring. While everyone is in a hurry, eat and wipe the green light ring on the spot. No worries at all. As for failure, never thought about it at all. Buzzing. The black light virus and the power of swallowing fruit are activated simultaneously. The liquid fibrous tissue also vibrated violently. Due to the special nature of the green light ring, he encountered a tough bone for the first time. It seems that for a while, it can't be refined at all. Gee, it seems that it can only be digested slowly. Yi let out a long sigh. But not overly nervous. Because of his conjecture, there is absolutely no mistake. After all, he has collected 10 spells: rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, horse, sheep, rooster, dog, pig. And the body of the fairy provided by the intercolumnar cells. Perfect quality black light virus. From the beginning, it already has endless energy. Taking the position of the lamp beast is as easy as the palm of your hand. A lamp ring made of symbiont fibers may not be called a green light ring. Should be renamed black light. Black light ring. Yi's mind changed sharply. Can't help but giggle. Black light beast. Venom. It seems that the black light core of the DC universe is also the only color light core that does not have lantern beasts. Coincidence, isn't it? However, just when he was thinking about it, Scarlet Witch snapped his eyes open. The green eyes turned into a crimson, and the long brown hair was windless, and the body was surrounded by a stream of rapids, like a streamer of colorful feathers. Origin magic power. Officially awakening. The sky-defying power that was enough to subvert reality was reflected in the eyes of everyone. Even the air is constantly shaking. Then a series of bangs broke out. Simply suffocating. Great performance by Scarlet Witch. Not only proves Yi's correctness, but also confirms Dad's description on the side. Origin magic power. It is truly beyond the power of ordinary people. It will also bring bad luck, making the host saddled with despair and have a bumpy life. Punish the relatives. Wanda. Avengers Alliance, you are welcome to join. After you meet Stark, I will make him confess to you in person. A hearty smile appeared on Captain America's mouth. The evaluation of Scarlet Witch has undoubtedly risen to an unprecedented level. Really need fresh blood. Fury refuses to believe in the yellow-skinned dragon group. Should he refuse the lonely Maximoff siblings? And many more. And me, quote, Mr. Venom, I think you should activate my ability as well. Pietro woke up from a dream. After witnessing Wanda's divine power, I couldn't help showing an expression of surprise. As Wanda's elder brother, his ability is definitely not unsatisfactory, right? Bring it on. I'm ready. Pooh, stinky man. Leave me alone. Wanda is now enough to inspire your mutant abilities. I'm tired. Goodbye. Du Yi scoffed. Immediately, he drilled directly into the Widow Sister's body and began to concentrate on digesting the green light ring. He never dreamed that the green light ring would be so difficult to chew. The black light virus and the power of Tuntun fruit are superimposed, and they are fully activated, and only a small piece of slag is eaten. No wonder one by one, Green Lantern could rank among the giants of the Justice League. The green light ring developed with mysterious materials is enough to explain the problem. No matter how tough the green light ring is, he's going to take it off. Anyway, you have time. Tired, smelly man. Aliens also engage in gender discrimination. Quicksilver is full of confusion. Life is impermanent, the large intestine wraps the small intestine. Let me come, Pietro. Wanda raised her slender jade finger, and a crimson energy was coiled around her fingertips. The color was bright and gorgeous, and it looked like a very colorful aurora. Ding! Touch Quicksilver's forehead with your fingertips. Next moment, Quicksilver flew upside down, constantly tumbling one after another, directly crashing and breaking a towering tree. Pietro, are you all right? Quote. I did not do it on purpose. Wanda looked aggrieved, almost crying. Quicksilver is her only relative. If she was buried in the wilderness, I am afraid that she will never be able to forgive herself, and she will completely fall into blacken and hate this world. However, the voice did not fall. A figure as fast as lightning, at an unbelievable speed, came from the position at the end of the line of sight. There were shadows in the sky. It's easy to reach 5 times the speed of sound. No matter the bones, joints, tendons, vision, physical fitness, and endurance, they have also been greatly enhanced by the X factor. Completely draw a line from ordinary human beings. Has the ultimate speed of Superman first class. In the world of martial arts, nothing is invincible, only fast is invincible. Once he has mastered his ability, he will definitely explode his unparalleled potential, and his movement speed will also go further. Not only can you run on the water, you can also defy gravity and climb cliffs on foot. Even, vibrate its own molecules, across solid objects. It's really, are they all superhumans? I really can't compare. Clint Barton's eyes widened, and he couldn't help shaking his head with a wry smile. Even his dynamic vision couldn't fully capture Quicksilver's trajectory. This shows how powerful Quicksilver is. I guess Nick Fury wakes up laughing from his dreams. Dr. Banner has a calm demeanor. Including Hulk, the Avengers Alliance has added 4 more generals. Winter Soldier, Wanda, Pietro. No matter the number of members or the quality, they have overshadowed the Dragon Group under the 13th District. Hey, unfair. Obviously I was the first to encounter Venom. Xiao Yu puffed out her cheeks and pouted. An air of roar. But he succeeded in amusing everyone present. Captain. The Dragon Group will always be the allies of the Avengers Alliance, watching and helping each other. Anytime, anywhere. Also, be careful of the Black Hand organization. The Black Hand is also collecting spells. The archaeologist took the initiative to shake hands. Thank you, Jackie Chan. Captain America isn't hypocritical either. Clenched hands. It also officially announced that the snake catching plan has come to a successful end. However, the large background is dark. Vast. Raise your hand to see the emptiness of the 5 fingers. The ancient evil spirit that had been sleeping for thousands of years suddenly woke up. He has gray, bushy eyebrows and a beard. The lip line is jet black. A hideous cat-faced monster. The flying-headed monster who was decapitated by Minurai Hikaru. It's called Talakudo, the Dark Chief to whom all mummy generals and Sombra Corps are loyal. It is also the Dark Shadow Demon King in the legend of Dongying. The fall of 2 mummified generals. Who exactly did it? It seems, my Sombra Corps is in a bit of trouble. A thick, magnetic voice echoed. The figure of the cat-faced monster disappeared at the same moment. After a long voyage, triple wing building. Under the illumination of the morning light, the outer walls are plated with a layer of bright white, like a solemn holy place. Flight machines frequently rise and fall. Nick Fury personally greeted the triumph of the Avengers Alliance squad. Welcome back, team leader. I heard the report of the peacekeeping force. Congratulations to the Avengers Alliance team for their great victory. SHIELD will continue to track and locate the coordinates of the Hydra remnants. Thanks a lot. Nick Fury smiled. It can be considered to solve one of their own knots. Looking beyond Captain America to the exit of the cabin, he couldn't help but widen his eyes, his pupils contracted violently. Hulk, and Dr. Banner, what's the situation? Aren't the two coexisting in the same form? How did they become two separate entities? Because of the Venom. Venom used the Tiger Charm to separate Hulk and Banner. From now on, the two will always exist independently and will not run out of control again. Captain America is short and to the point. Talk it out. Then, under the suspicious eyes of Hill and Phil Coulson, he introduced Winter Soldier Bucky to Fury. Bucky Barnes, my dear friend, he was brainwashed and controlled by the Hydra organization, and now he has changed his mind. I think he can also be part of the Avengers Alliance. Captain America laughed. The whole person was in high spirits. Even after the exhausting battle and command, he didn't look physically and mentally exhausted at all. Because of Bucky, people are happy when they are happy. Sergeant Bucky, he even survived, still so young. Phil Coulson, couldn't help but his pupils contracted violently. Both were under the bombardment of patriotic propaganda in the Stars and Stripes, and had a deep impression of the deeds of Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes. However, everyone never dreamed that Captain America and Bucky, who were supposed to be buried in World War II, would come back to life one after another. It doesn't seem like a bad thing. It is the impact that it brings, and it takes time to digest. Brainwashing control. Team leader. It is recommended to check Sergeant Bucky's physical data, to avoid the occurrence of dangerous situations. Fury pinched his chin, joy and anger beyond expression. However, he is very clear that the level of brainwashing of the Hydra organization seems to be at the top of the whole world. Without enough patience and firm willpower, there is no way to eliminate the impact. Like a time bomb, sooner or later it will explode. The voice did not fall. Hiss, sizzle. The pitch-black liquid substance then drilled out of the Widow Sister's pore, and from the waist that Ying held, it gathered into a pocket Venom head. Shaped like a ghoul, the surface is covered with black fibrous tissue. The ferocious beast face approached suddenly. Even Nick Fury, who was accustomed to it, couldn't help but give a shock. Fury, are you questioning my ability? Winter Soldier Bucky, sure, it's okay. Also, I kidnapped 2 recruits from the Avengers Alliance for you. Wanda Maximoff and Pietro Maximoff are both powerful top mutants, the former also masters Chaos Force. Do ye spit all over? Directly splashed Nick Fury. The black windbreaker that was cleaned and starched also stinks. Let the Widow Sister laugh dumbly. Apologetic. Chief, Venom was not intentional. The corner of the Widow Sister's mouth held a smile, and then she showed the charm of Oni-san, which was as bright and moving as a lotus in the sun. Even the hot-tempered Nick Fury softened his heart and didn't care too much. In fact, I don't even have the guts to count. Across America, there seem to be very few superhero who can match the Venom symbiote. Thor, whom he highly valued, is still missing. X-Men, not subject to Nick Fury. Wanda, Pietro. Welcome to Tri-Wing Building, but you have to go through a series of tests to become a member of the Avengers Alliance. Phil Coulson smiled. Shows a natural affinity. It's like spring breeze. The twin brothers and sisters, who were at a loss, also eased their expressions and followed Phil Coulson to the relevant departments to complete registration, entry, verification, and testing. And many more. A series of programs. It has to be said that Captain America's guess was not wrong. For the yellow-skinned dragon team, Nick Fury chose to stay away. The innocent Wanda and Pietro became the reserves of the Avengers Alliance directly. Once the verification is over, the Avengers Alliance level crisis will break out again, and it is possible to participate in the frontline tasks and turn positive. Fury. The Maximoff siblings lost their parents in childhood because of the ballistic missile invented by Stark. Be careful not to mention this. Secondly, according to Bucky's reasoning, the real origin of the monster cells is very likely to come from 3 companies. Captain America took a deep breath and put on a serious face. Which 3 companies? Fury's eyes narrowed slightly. Cutting Edge Technology, S Corporation, Roxxon Oil Company. The efficiency of your communication is too slow. Do ye forcibly planted the plant? There is a look of contempt on his hideous face, and he is undoubtedly full of ridicule for the rigid bureaucracy. However, Captain America and Fury are helpless. Because the volume of the three companies has reached the point where they cannot be added, the market value is almost the same as that of Stark Industries. Just relying on the words of Winter Soldier, Aegis has no qualifications to initiate an investigation at all. Chief, I'm tired. If something happens to Hulk, remember to notify me as soon as possible. Widow's sister stroked the hair that was falling from her ears, and because of the Venom symbiote's continuous trouble, she had already discovered the depression of the atmosphere. Therefore, the only option is to retire early. After the task is completed, she must take a cold shower to relieve her tired body and mind. It also has the effect of ice compressing the tendons, which can greatly relieve bruises and prevent dark diseases. Definitely, after serving as the host of the Venom symbiote, even if her eyelashes fall off, she can recover in a short time without any worries at all. Just a cold shower habit. I'm afraid it will never be changed. Go back to dorms. Hiss, sizzle, a hissing sound rang out. The black gel coat on the surface of the body quickly receded like a tide, and the exposed skin was not only as fat as jade, but also did not see the slightest fine lines and pores. A stunning piece of art resembling a marble carving. Incredibly beautiful. Looking carefully at the figure in the mirror, the Widow sister couldn't help but lose her mind. Quote. When will it start? You became my clothes. The Widow has a weird expression. Didn't even notice it at all. She and the Venom symbiote have completely lost the separation and distance, like an innate organ, perfectly tracking her thinking consciousness. No negative effects at all. The feeling of being fully wrapped and cared for is also irresistible. Faintly headed by her, even Steve Rogers took a back seat. When, at X Academy, hiss, sizzle, the pitch-black liquid substance penetrated the pore of the whole body and formed the pocket head of Venom again. The end is connected to a slender waist, coiled in front of the Widow's sister. How? Don't like it? Then I will listen to you. Doogie grinned, smile all over. When the Widow's sister heard the words, her face was complicated, but she also showed a bit of acquiescence, and turned the valve at will. Cool water poured down. In the bathroom, immediately, a dense water vapor rose, and a hazy gauze was spread over the mirror and frosted glass. Afterwards, Doogie thoughtfully handed over the towel. The whole process remained silent. What? Is there anyone living in the dormitory next door? Widow's sister's ears moved slightly. Suddenly a faint noise was heard. Open the door. She couldn't help but narrow her eyes. Wanda, congratulations on passing the SHIELD assessment. An elegant smile appeared on the corner of Sister Widow's mouth. In contrast, even the Scarlet Witch, which is quite expensive, looks a little less handsome. Because Doogie has not optimized Wanda's appearance, he felt a burst of soreness and pain. However, over time, Wanda is bound to show his unique peerless elegance. There is no real high or low. Sister Widow, great. We'll be neighbors from now on. Wanda was stunned for a moment and couldn't help but smile. It is like a fleeting short-lived flower, hearty and sweet, as if it can cure all sorrows, making people unable to help relieve their hearts. Aren't you going to talk to me? Roar. A roar sounded. Doogie was furious. Moment. He threw himself in front of Scarlet Witch, and they looked at each other. Venom, take care of you in the future. Wanda the corners of her mouth. Then, he frowned slightly. As if you were a male. Why can you live in the girls' dormitory? Girls' dormitory? Like, really? Sister Widow and Doogie looked at each other. Everyone forgot about this. Stupid. I am a symbiote. Where is the host? Where am I? Doogie reacted a little and jumped like thunder again. Almost fooled. Not to mention, strictly speaking, symbiotes are not male and female at all. Almost without exception, it is the product of reproduction. A small amount of symbiont fibers, in a very short period of time, have a wonderful chemical reaction after they come into contact with the DNA of other living things. There is a chance to create a brand new symbiote. Definitely, Doogie would never allow this to happen. The symbiote of the Earth, one of him is enough. Sister Widow, compared to the Hydra Castle, the environment of the three-wing building. It's much better. Wanda looked left and right. In the depths of the beautiful eyes, there was a very faint melancholy color. No matter how good or bad the environment is, it cannot be called home. For Wanda, she just moved from one platform to another, always on the go. Not a single light was left for her. Yes, the environment is much better. The widow's sister agreed. He also has a keen insight into Wanda's little emotions. However, why didn't she think so? After being parasitized by the venom, I have my eyeliner fixed almost every day, and I never get tired of it. But there is no way. She simply can't afford to buy her own house. Do not, little Na. Did you forget it? You are the majority shareholder of the Stark Group. And 35% of the shares. Du Yi grinned. Reminded, he also felt quite inconvenienced after knowing what the widow sister's heart was saying. Because his perception ability is different from ordinary people, he can completely detect the hiding place of the eyeliner, and the exact position of the closed-circuit camera. Almost nothing can hide from him. Living in such an environment, I am afraid that no one will think it is warm. What? Stark Group shares, 35%. My God, so you are a billionaire woman. Wanda covered her lips, her pupils dilated slightly. It was simply overwhelming. Stark Group, market value in trillions. After shutting down the weapons research and development department, the stock price plummeted. Stark also took advantage of the situation to buy a lot of stocks. When the outside world looked down on him, he publicly announced that he was Iron Man. The market value of Stark Group has not decreased but increased, and it has been rising all the way. Tony Stark also took advantage of the situation to master the absolute control of the family business. It is said that it is as high as 80%. It's just that Wanda didn't expect that Tony Stark would be willing to cut his flesh and sell his shares to the widow sister. What is the situation? What? It really surprised me. With your prenatal education level, you can still understand the meaning of shares. Excellent. Du Yi gave a thumbs up. But it made Wanda's expression freeze. Is this a compliment, or curse? However, she really had no way to refute it. She and Pietro lost their parents in childhood and lived in a local orphanage all the time, with no formal education at all. Sokovia also does not offer compulsory education. Cultural level, it's really just prenatal education. Because of the venom. Venom is capable of changing the molecular structure of matter, transforming ordinary steel into form memory metal. It was named Wabo by him. Actually, it's called Romanov alloy, and it sounds nice. The corners of the widow sister's mouth upturned. A posture of honor. Wabo alloy, Romanov alloy. Miss Widow, you must be rich. Why do you still live in the Shield dormitory? Wanda's beautiful eyes flowed, secretly pinched his fingers and counted. 35% of the shares, the overall value is probably not less than 100 billion United States dollars. USD, not the official dinar, issued by Sokovia. 100 dinars can be exchanged for 1 United States dollar. Oops, headache. Wanda didn't understand, so she just gave up. After all, with her prenatal education level, in the absence of multiplication formulas, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division other than 10 will make things difficult for her. Rich, as if I'm not really poor. Widow sister woke up like a dream. Her account has a wealth of tens of millions of USD. The widow sister should not have spent her money, right? Just buy an apartment. Move directly out of the Shield dormitory. Can you count me in? I can pay the rent. Wanda mustered her courage. For some reason, there is a natural trust in the widow sister. Because both of them were possessed by Du Yi. It is good. No problem. Where do you like to live? Washington, New York, or San Francisco, Los Angeles? The widow sister's beautiful eyes lit up. If it wasn't for Wanda to bring up the topic, she would have forgotten her childhood dream. Live in a big house. Quote. I like Zijing Town. The border town of New Jersey. I saw it in Sokovia's magazine, it seems to be very good. Wanda said shyly. So far, her access to external information is the internet, magazines, leaflets. Due to the frequent outbreak of terrorist attacks in Sokovia, the network is also intermittent. Even her knowledge of Stark industry is a brain supplement that she has cobbled together. Zijing Town. Haven't heard of it. It seems like the prices are very cheap. Sister Widow raised her slender fingers, swiped the screen continuously, and began to retrieve all the information of Zijing Town. This is the latest communicator invented by SHIELD. Regardless of the chip or the processor, It is an era ahead of the market, as well as the warning program and the positioning system. Connected to satellites launched by SHIELD. There is no flow pressure at all. Cheap. 500 USD per square meter. Wanda clicked her tongue secretly. Which house do you like? The widow's sister handed over the communicator. Let Wanda choose for herself. On the screen, there is a row of single-family duplex small Western-style buildings, as well as the construction of pleasing courtyards and the cleaning of spotless mailboxes. Instantly captured Wanda's heart. This building. Wanda raised her hand a little. The buy button was actually selected. Ding. Successfully ordered. A pleasant beep sounded. Frightened Wanda hid a shiver. Almost missed and broke the communicator. What? Place an order. I didn't mean to. Feel sorry. Wanda looked panicked. Even waving her hands, her cheeks became hot. She couldn't help lowering her eyes, feeling ashamed. The toes are clasped tightly to the soles. Fine. I like this one too. Do you want to share a lease with me? Sister Widow smiled. It doesn't mean to compare at all. Even her expression didn't fluctuate. She was like an empathetic and intimate sister who could understand Wanda's cramps and fear of unfamiliar things. Share a lease. Okay. Chief Nick won't be angry. Wanda pokes her fingertips. In his mind, the image of the expressionless braised egg wearing a black eye patch appeared in his mind. The whole body exudes an aura that no one is near. Make her a little nervous. Dare he? Do you think I won't kill him? Wanda, are you ready for a whole new world of 3? Hey. Duyi smiled naively. Westview. This is a fictional town in the world of Marvel. There is also an old witch with magical powers. It seems to be called Agatha Harkness. It should also be counted as a key female character. 3 worlds. Quote. Why don't you call Pietro? We can play mahjong. Let me tell you. Mahjong. This is a chess and card game in the East, but it's fun. A small smile bloomed on Wanda's face. When it comes to mahjong, it turns out to be straightforward. This made Duyi, a person from China with a strong and bright roots, also stunned. Really? Sokovia also has a mahjong hall? Yes. Then you must teach me. The widow's sister listened attentively. A kind smile always hung on the corner of her mouth, and she made a full gesture. It also gradually dispelled Wanda's defense. At the same time. Buzz. The roar of an engine resounded through the sky. At the end of the line of sight, with the classic gold and red paint, Tony Stark, whose battle armor is iterated again by Zhao Hao, is like a galloping lightning, rushing to the Washington, D.C. in an instant. Under the mask, he looks so proud. I have initially mastered the mystery of Wabo alloy, and I have also gained insight into his shape memory characteristics. This set of armors almost all use the rare Wabo alloy in the world. Not only is the laser-guided deployment program loaded, but also subsystems for remote control and automatic assembly are added. To commemorate his youthful career, he was named the Prodigal Son. Prodigal Son Armor. Mark 42. Because Wabo alloy came out before the Battle of New York. Hearing that Hulk and Banner were split into 2 separate entities, he couldn't help but take a peek. By the way, meet the Maximov siblings. Apologize to your face. Wabo alloy is running out too. Need to convince Venom to step up and make a few tons. Stark's eyes flickered slightly. Half the horsepower again. Immediately, like a fast-moving express train, it suddenly drew a perfect arc and landed on the tarmac. Rogers, have you seen the banner? A magnetic, flirty voice came out through the metal mask. Obviously he will never learn to keep a low profile. Triple wing building. Noon. All agents are working in an orderly manner. However, the originally harmonious atmosphere was disturbed by the sudden arrival of Tony Stark. Hey, what's your name? Hassan, Hades. Never mind. Come on, some music. Don't you understand why sitting for a long time hurts your body? A magnetic flirtatious voice came through the metal mask. The middle-aged man he called Hassan was speechless to the extreme. I'm Jason. Jason was extremely depressed. Even the neatly organized documents were messed up into a pot of porridge. Boom. Dong dong dong. There was a sound of heavy footsteps. At the end of the corridor, a burly and sturdy figure with an extremely large waist and a round body, after hearing Stark's call, walked out of the toilet directly. At the same time, another door opened. Dr. Banner, who was gentle and elegant, wearing a white coat, also slowly stuck out his head. Banner, Hulk, It's all true. Venom separated you. Through the tiger charm, Stark's pupils contracted violently. I could hardly believe my eyes. The problem of being helpless with any technology was solved by the fire demon's tiger charm. Tiger charm. Is it possible to separate him from the riot? Divide the riot in two. Stark couldn't help his eyelids twitching wildly. Roar tighter. After Professor X sealed the rioting mind, the rioting symbiote was like a mass of dead objects, unable to respond to his thoughts at all, and there was no way to summon it. Although, it didn't cause any trouble, but it didn't do any good either. Make him bored all the time. He doesn't even want to lose his appetite and say goodbye to a delicious cheeseburger. Stark, Hulk, itchy hands. A savage, rough noise rang out. Hulk spoke word by word, expressing his opinion. He is like a babbling baby. Even if he is always angry, he still has the basic thinking ability, and he has mastered a certain vocabulary under constant exposure. The current level of intelligence is equivalent to that of a 7-year-old child. It's almost the same as Bionmu. Itchy hands, what's the meaning? Stark's face was bewildered. Tony, from what I know about Hulk, he should want to play a game with you. Dr. Banner smiled. After getting rid of Hulk, he also felt relieved. He has reunited with his ex, and they are discussing marriage matters. Even General Thunderbolt acquiesced in his existence. After all, Dr. Banner has no research value. Play a game. Okay. Spacious backyard space. Let's go, big guy. Stark's face was full of excitement. Immediately, it turned into a brilliant red rainbow and rushed directly to the training ground. Hulk, crush you. The Hulk grinned with a strange smile on his face. The two fists clenched tightly, and a crackling noise suddenly erupted. Then, he suddenly stepped on the ground with his toes, the floor tiles exploded, and the whole person was like an arrow, and followed Stark to the scene. A super hurricane swept in all directions. The files are dancing. Jason couldn't help but feel like he was dying. Sheet. I hate you, Stark. At the same time, Captain America, Hawkeye, Quicksilver, Winter Soldier, also learned about the Stark and Hulk fight. For the first time, I came to the training ground that covers a very large area. The crowd stood in a row and watched from the sidelines. Taking a closer look at Stark's new armor, Captain America and Hawkeye can't help but be amazed. The paint scheme of the gold bottom and red edge is also eye-catching, and the dynamic armor lines fully conform to the golden ratio. Captain, how about you being the referee? You have always been fair. Stark let out a hearty laugh. I am also genuinely curious about the power of the Mark 42 prodigal armor. After all, Hulk has always been his imaginary enemy, who can compete without hesitation, and can also provide suitable ideas for improvement, so as not to be smeared. I'm the referee. If Hulk goes wild, I can't hold back. Quote. There is a better candidate. Captain America smiled wryly. Hastily refused. Hulk with infinite power, once he kills his red eyes, he will not give face to anyone. Only the Widow Sister can reluctantly obey. What's more, as the host of the Venom symbiote, Sister Widow already possesses the first-class strength of Superman. In the Battle of Sokovia, it is also a genuine FMVP. There is no one more suitable than her. All right. Natasha Romanoff, you are the referee for this match. Stark said loudly. The voice fell. The big man on the other side was already impatiently waiting, and his face was full of annoyance. With a single stride, he rushed towards him. A deafening sound of intimidation sounded. Hulk, smash. I saw Hulk leap into the sky, and his hands slammed together, like a giant hammer forged from fine iron, smashing towards Stark with a thunderous force. Completely missed. Really consider him a mortal enemy. Boom. Smoke and dust on a scale of several meters is aroused out of thin air. The floor tiles exploded. Then it collapsed 5 meters down. A radius of 10 feet was also affected. In an instant, dense cracks spread out, and it also caused the surging of the East River. The crowd was almost unsteady. For the power that Hulk has, I also have a deep understanding. BJFF again. This feeling, really amazing. As if I was watching myself fight. Looks like it's imperative to get used to this feeling as soon as possible. Dr. Banner held up a smile. In the past, the way he and Hulk got along was actually no different from Sister Widow, who was also in a confined space and wrapped in all directions. Consciousness is also independent of each other. Definitely, Venom symbiotes are more considerate, and also allow the host to occasionally dominate everything. It can also appear in the form of alienated limbs. After getting along for a long time, everyone got used to it. I'll be the referee. Interesting. Seeing Stark. How do you feel? The widow's sister came pacing. I saw her dress up again. The jet black liquid fiber constituted a body-shaping black gel coat, which highlighted the perfect curve incisively and vividly. The holy light area on the body surface is also covered with a layer of hard shell, which is generated by the black light virus, and looks like a majestic nano armor. Almost made Stark look straight. By comparison, my Mark 42 is a little overshadowed. Stark shook his head wryly. Immediately, he raised his hand to pick a grape and stuffed it into his mouth, shaking a goblet full of fresh red wine juice. He didn't go to Washington himself at all. JARVIS. Activate the laser weapon. I'm going to shave Hulk. Stark smiled lightly. The voice fell. The prodigal battle armor immediately raised both hands, and the laser launch device on the wrist immediately burst out a fine ray. Not even lampposts are resistant to cutting by laser rays. Broken in two on the spot. Next moment, the laser ray was castrated incessantly and hit the Hulk again. On the tough skin, a piece of spark suddenly appeared. Hulk's defense is undoubtedly far superior to steel. Roar. Hulk. Angry. The rude and savage voice exploded. Boom. I saw Hulk withdraw and retreat. His eyes widened suddenly, and he slapped his palms hard. A surging energy shockwave suddenly swept towards the Mark 42 prodigal battle armor. The power is so great that it directly cuts off a layer of land. Its potential pierces the cloud and cracks the stone. Shake the sky. Even the clouds are cleared away. Heavy tank missiles can't make this kind of movement, can they? Wanda opened her mouth slightly, worried about Stark's safety. However, change your mind. Immediately changed his attitude, expecting Hulk to beat him to hell. After all, even if she understands the truth and is successfully persuaded by Captain America, that doesn't mean she has to forgive Stark right away. The voice did not fall. Hiss, sizzle, a roar sounded. The pitch-black liquid substance once again gathered into a Venom head, like a ghoul, and squeezed beside the two of them. Stupid woman. Tony Stark is not in the armor at all. Dewey smiled coldly. He couldn't help but muttered. Mark 42. Anti-Tony Warframe. It came out before the Battle of New York. It seems Stark really succeeded in deciphering the mysteries of Wabo alloy. Maybe Veronica's armor will be born in advance. Quote. Won't tinker with Gundam, or shapeshifting Congo. The Kabuto giant is also possible. Dewey's eyes sank slightly. Next moment, a startled roar sounded. I saw the Mark 42 armor disintegrate on its own, turning into pieces of scattered parts, bypassing the coverage of the energy shockwave, and detouring to the position behind Hulk. Regroup again. The chest, palm, and the miniature reactor couldn't help but burst out with a blazing dazzling light. Hit Hulk directly. The big one. You lost. Stark smiled playfully. For the shape memory ability of Wabo alloy, I simply love it. The prodigal battle armor stands above the clouds. The miniature reactors in the chest and palm gathered a blazing dazzling light. It seems that the flames will pour out again at any time. A rapidly changing situation. Everyone can't help but take a deep breath. Until this moment, the big family finally woke up. It turns out that Stark didn't control himself at all. Battle armor. Scare. Stark's new armor, can it be split and reorganized? This technology, can he even handle it? How exactly? Brain waves. Infrared guidance device. Motion nerve capture system. Definitely. Tony changed the material of the armor, which is not a conventional aerospace metal. It seems to have the characteristics of shape memory to achieve this effect. Dr. Banner spoke eloquently. When everyone's faces were stunned, he had already thought of the related technologies needed to complete this kind of battle armor. After all, he has 7 PhDs, and after getting rid of Hulk, it seems that his IQ has improved a little again, and nothing can stop him. It seems to be called Wabo alloy. Made of Venom. Wanda's eyes rolled. The source of the battle armor material is directly exposed. Wabo alloy. Venom. Real or fake? Everyone looked at each other in dismay, and could hardly believe their ears. The Venom symbiote can also create a new substance from nothing. That's right, even Winter Soldier's prosthesis is made of venom. The widow's sister nodded solemnly. Yes, it feels like it's my body. But neither bullets nor sharps can break the defense. Winter Soldier waved his arms. Couldn't help but let out a smile. However, when his eyes moved to the prodigal son's armor, he couldn't help showing a worried color. Because he killed Stark's parents himself. Like a demon. Always keep him up at night. Not good. Hulk is furious. He doesn't seem to have any intention of admitting defeat at all. I feel like I'm being tricked. Dr. Banner's pupils contracted. Can't help screaming. Next moment, a deafening roar sounded. I saw the blue veins on Hulk's forehead jumping wildly, and he was really aroused by anger, and he jumped to the sky. He is going to dismantle this unsightly armor with his own hands. Roar. Hulk roars angrily. The two arms are like iron fists, and every move is full of astonishing explosive power. It is like a never-ending fighting machine. It grabs one arm of the prodigal armor and breaks it off immediately. Put it in your mouth. Chew crunch. On the battle armor made of Wabo alloy, a row of neat and dense tooth marks were left. Puff. Spit it out. The iron lumps turned into galloping rockets and shot straight at the area where the onlookers stood. In a burst of wailing, everyone hurriedly retreated, like avoiding the god of plague. Boom. Parts made of Wabo alloy, with the force of thunder, directly leveled a warehouse. Pieces of forest collapsed. Dr. Banner's expression changed dramatically. Corona, please. Hulk must be contained. Otherwise, maybe the three-curved wing building will be reduced to ruins. Captain America and Barton looked at each other, and both realized the seriousness of the problem one after another. In the case of losing Banner's personality, he is like a prehistoric beast that is eternally rage. Even if he has a certain degree of intelligence, he may not be able to understand human words. If you wait for the Hulk to turn off, I am afraid that the three-curved wing building will really cease to exist. Hey, Bulky, have you never heard of the truth of willingness to admit defeat? You even plan to tear down my armor. Do you know how expensive it is? Stark was out of breath. Anyway, he himself is far away in New York. Even if Hulk's madness develops and the situation develops out of control, it will not cause him any harm. However, the value of Wabo alloy is far beyond imagination. Use a little less. Even the amount of 300,000 tons is a drop in the bucket. Because Wabo alloy can not only be used to make battle armor, but also other technological materials can be perfectly replaced. Quality materials comparable to adamantium. Undoubtedly available and unattainable. It's just that he didn't expect that Wabo alloy still has natural enemies. Hulk's teeth can chew through alloys. Gee, long experience. It seems to be improved on the basis of Wabo alloy. Hulk, itchy hands. Smash. The Hulk is hideous. After hearing Stark's words, he was furious again. The whole person stomped on the ground, like a galloping anti-aircraft shell, and the speed was so fast that even Quicksilver couldn't keep up with it, and rushed straight to the prodigal armor not far away. Crackling. Armor of the prodigal son in both hands. A flurry of teeth and claws. Immediately, the prodigal son's armor was torn apart. After all, the parts of the prodigal battle armor have independent modules and automatic assembly functions, and the connectivity of the parts to each other has been weakened to a certain extent. After the helmet was shattered by Hulk's kick, the prodigal armor is also officially scrapped. Even if the Wabo alloy has the form memory ability, there is no way to restore the remote control chip and brain wave recognition system. After cutting off the connection between the armor and Tony Stark, even if the parts of the armor can be spliced and reassembled, they have become a pile of broken metal that cannot move. Are you out of your anger? Maybe not. Everyone, run. There was a sound of chickens and dogs barking. The S.H.I.E.L.D. agent and the Avengers Alliance recruits can't help but go to hell. Hulk's eyes were red and bloodshot, and saliva dripped from his lips. As if tearing the Mark 42 by hand, instead of quelling his anger, it caused even more anger. Hulk's entire human body is like a wild beast, his nose is spewing hot breaths, and his heart and blood are constantly transpiring. In an instant, he has his eye on Venom. In my mind, the picture of District 13 also appeared. As if planning to be ashamed before the snow. Venom. Don't be in a daze. It's already coming. The widow's sister looked tense. However, he found that Venom Hezzy's eyes were slack, as if he had never paid attention to the battle situation. What is the situation? Disconnected. Call out. Shish. A figure as fast as lightning, like a lightning meteor from not far away, instantly grabbed Scarlet Witch's shoulder and evaded to a safe area in time. Pietro, why didn't you rescue Sister Widow? Wanda's beautiful eyes widened. Can't help but blame. Has your relationship been this good? Pietro spread his palms. I sincerely admire Wanda's social ability. However, when he returned, it was already late. Roar. Hoo hoo hoo. A roar of beasts sounded. The sound waves rolled, directly overturning the debris in a radius of 10 feet. The smoke and dust also formed a sandstorm, forcing everyone to retreat again. Hulk's fist has reached Widowmaker's cheek. The powerful wind blew up her hair directly, and even her clothes rattled. The situation has reached a critical moment. Hiss. Sizzle. A roar sounded. The Widow Sister is just like hearing the sounds of nature. Stinky girls, can't you do it without me? It's time to exercise your combat ability. I'm going to study new equipment for a while. Du Yi is temporarily offline. He has successfully digested the green light ring. Through the power of swallowing the fruit, he obtained the information stored in the green light ring, including the operation principle of the green light ring, various functions, effects, data, protocols. However, because the data is too large, let him not be distracted for a while. If you want to reproduce the lamp ring, you also need to fully understand all the knowledge. After all, the green light ring comes from the DC universe next door, and the Venom symbiote has a billion-year lifespan, and has never come into contact with this kind of thing. The emotional electromagnetic spectrum and the charging protocol are big enough. New equipment, exercising my combat ability. The Widow was lost for a moment. 2 smile lines suddenly appeared on the corners of his mouth. She really desires to control the power, and she also steals the teacher secretly, and understands the ability of Venom. Clap your hands and shout what you want. Snapped. Put your hands together. Where she was, a wooden stake suddenly appeared, very much like her. Get punched by a furious Hulk. Then, Widow's sister body has appeared in another place. Would escape. #Z. Next moment, I saw the Widow sister clenched her pink fist, the liquid symbiont fibers gathered on her right hand, and she directly activated the black light fighting form. The fibrous tissue transforms into a giant hammer shape. And the oncoming Hulk. Fight again. Boom. The roar of gold and iron clashing, like a thunderbolt in the clear sky, banged in the ears of everyone. Even Wanda couldn't help covering her ears. Black eyes. This level of collision of forces is beyond everyone's imagination. However, from the beginning to the end, the Widow sister did not open the Venom form, as if she herself was competing with Hulk. Can the symbiote share all abilities with the host? Invincible. I would call her the strongest Avenger. Sister Widow hail. The crowd watched the fun and didn't think it was a big deal, and they all cheered. I saw the Widow sister in a military uniform. The holy light area is covered with an arc-shaped hard shell, and the lotus arms and jade legs are wrapped in black gel coats, liquid fibrous tissue, like living creatures, still crawling and swimming. Even half of her face had a dark web. It makes it more and more sinister. It exudes the charm of a fallen angel. Although, he gave up the clean and holy appearance, but in exchange for the unparalleled force of ordinary people. Even the invincible Hulk can't completely suppress the Widow sister. The eyes are as wide as copper bells. As if he was thinking, why can't his indestructible fist smash her into a puddle of mud? The sun is about to set. Banner. The Widow sister stood above the void and subconsciously said the previous lines. However, the tiger talisman, which symbolizes the yin and yang sides, has separated Hulk and Banner. Hulk, who had already calmed down, was furious again. A hysterical roar broke out. Bad girl, I hate you. Hulk's eyes widened and his face was hideous. Immediately, he clenched his fists violently, and smashed down at Sister Widow again with a thunderous force. It was as if a hammer had burst the air. A violent airflow visible to the naked eye crushed all the 273 things in a radius of 10 feet into pieces again. Glass products also burst open one after another. The sound of breaking the air tears the eardrums. However, the Widow sister directly violated the gravity and moved to another place again. The warm and moist eyes like amber actually showed a blazing dazzling light. Electric eyes are amazing. Buzzing. The widow's sister is like a god in the world. Her pupils burst out with 2 half-foot diameter electro-optical rays, and even with the collision and wrestling, it seems that not a single drop of sweat dripped down. The dazzling electric light ray cut off the lamp post and the fence, and then castrated, hitting Hulk in the chest. Squeeze it down to the ground. Heat vision bursts one after another. The suppressed Hulk has nowhere to focus, and he can't even get up. Hiss. Quote. Have you been able to use Venom's innate ability perfectly? I thought she was a mascot. The top agent of Aegis, the super spy entrusted by director Nick Fury, can be a mascot. Shish, Hulk confessed. Everyone was talking about each other. Immediately, Hulk slapped the floor hard, expressing himself to admit defeat. In the face of the ability of the replica Superman, even the invincible green fat is dwarfed by comparison, and there is no countermeasure at all. Only passively beaten. Beating. Also wake up. Hulk, losing. Man, bend and stretch. Hulk propped himself up, his cheeks horribly thick. Because losing to Stark is embarrassing. Losing to the widow's sister, there is no burden at all. Good men do not fight women. Even if Hulk's IQ is almost the same as BNMU's, he can understand this simple truth. Natasha Romanoff, looks like you're the best player in the Avengers Alliance. The greater the ability, the greater the responsibility. You have to be mentally prepared. Years. Captain America looked complicated, but also revealed a joy. Fortunately, this power did not fall into the hands of the enemy. Otherwise, it will inevitably lead to irreversible disasters, and the whole world will have no order at all, and no one can subdue Venom. Venom can really make this metal. Wabo alloy. Dr. Banner narrowed his eyes slightly. Picking up a part of the prodigal's battle armor, he touched the shell with his fingertips and suddenly felt a chill. At the same time, he found that Hulk's Nod battle armor was slowly recovering at a very slow speed. Shape memory alloys. From the Venom symbiote. This. Simply incredible. How many scientists dream of dream material? The effect of alien liquid is actually developed in advance. Development should be called material reorganization. Break apart the molecular structure of matter and create another more solid mod. How about it? Is there a need for shield? Hiss. A roar sounded. The pitch-black liquid substance once again gathered into a pocket-sized Venom hezi, coiling around the widow's sister. The ferocious face of the gaping fangs reveals an evil nature. At this moment, Dui has already comprehended all the information of the green light ring, and he was able to mass-produce the green light ring through the black light virus and Tuntun fruit. Definitely, shape memory alloys have a wide range of uses and are bound to become mainstream in the future and share the market with nanotechnology. Leo Fizz from the Aegis Technology Department also picked up a piece of battle armor and couldn't help but light up. After all, Quinjets and helicouriers, without exception, require tons of metal. If the Wabo alloy with shape memory properties can be used, wouldn't it be possible to avoid the problem of frequent replacement of parts? In a sense, modern machinery also lights up the self-healing function. I'm afraid you don't have enough wealth to buy it. 1 gram million USD. No counter offer. Dui sneered again and again. Rare is expensive. As the founder of Wabo alloy, he naturally knows this truth. Therefore, the formula of adamantium is also firmly in the hands of General William Stryker. No one but the Sentry Secret Service has been able to replicate adamantium. Hiss. Stealing money. Quote. 1 gram million USD. Even the secondary adamantium, vibranium, is only at this price. Wabo alloy is comparable to vibranium. Unbelievable. Do all alien symbionts possess this ability? As if Venom was the most special kind of symbiote. Everyone couldn't help but erupt into a heated discussion. Even Dr. Banner and Leofez froze. Because, out of pocket. Only Stark with deep pockets can play Wapo. Have to ask director Nick Fury. Leofez blushed. Run away directly. In contrast, Dr. Banner seemed particularly calm, not at all cramped. Venom, what new equipment are you working on? Widow's sister's eyes wandered. Never forget this stubble. Appetite for Venom. Even Wanda pricked up her ears. The body leans forward slightly. The neckline revealed a holy light. You can't take your eyes off of it. New equipment. I call it, quote, Black light ring. Dui vomited and boasted, "This is an unprecedented magic technology that can mobilize the mysterious and unpredictable emotional spectrum energy, through the imagination of the holder, create things out of thin air, and realize the fantasy. Shape the electromagnetic energy originally stored by the lamp ring into anything the bearer can imagine. Quote. It also grants the bearer flight, vacuum survival, remote real-time communication, hypnotic ability, energy emission, and many more. The ability that ordinary people dream of." The voice did not fall. Scare. The crowd was stunned. "It's like hearing the Arabian Nights. Black light ring. What? Could it be that the symbiote group has also invented a unique technology? Through a ring, can it really achieve all the effects that Venom said? Are you sure it's not a joke?" A series of question marks, one after another. Whether Banner, Captain America, Hawkeye, Quicksilver, Wanda, and even the Widow's sister, also showed disbelief. "Can't understand what Dui said at all. Hearing is false. Seeing is believing. Just keep your eyes open." Dui smiled coldly. Moment. The liquid fibrous tissue was condensed into a pure, crystal-clear jet black ring. It looks like an obsidian formed by a volcanic eruption, and it also has a bit of mercury luster. Can absorb all light. Even the eyes can devour. On the ring face, the black fibers form a V-shaped pattern. Full of art. This is the English initials of Venom. The holders of the black light ring are all Venom apostles without exception. Moreover, he also developed the unknown magical effect of the black light ring. It can greatly shorten his parasitic process. Hill. Wear the black light ring on your hand. Any finger will do. The light ring has a certain activity and can adapt to your size. Dui handed out the lamp ring. Hill was deliberately chosen as a demonstration. Because he didn't parasitize Hill, just to verify his conjecture. Worn by me. Hill was slightly surprised. Immediately, under the affirmation of Sister Widow's eyes, she bit her head and took the lamp ring and slowly put it on her index finger. Next moment, an electric shock-like feeling instantly swept through the cerebral cortex. Let her mind go blank. The black light ring also burst out with a bright light. One after another liquid fiber, along the knuckles, quickly spread to the limbs and bones, and actually formed a black gel coat with a good texture. All-round wrapping with barely a shred of clearance and no compromising action. Even the skin-friendly fabrics invented by the Ministry of Science and Technology can't compare to this black gel coat. Moreover, it can be adjusted to her favorite temperature. Even if the cold wind blows, she will not feel cold. In any environment, it can be safe and sound. With this ring, can you really create something out of nothing? Void creation. Hill frowned slightly. In the moment when thinking is active, an incredible black light appeared, and it actually formed a short blade overflowing with vigor. Scare. Everyone's eyes widened. I was almost shocked by the sudden energy creation, and my jaw dropped. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.